Bitcoin's definitely reaching its point in like of maturity where the insane volatility that we were used to, I think, is going to start dwindling down, and goes also with like the returns that you could possibly see. We're not going to see 15, 20x returns on Bitcoin anymore. At least I don't think so. Short term.
People have been saying
short term.
ETF, like it's going to, dampen some of that volatility. But I mean, I still think, with what he was saying about the money supply, the money supply is still growing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like people that have assets, or people that have all this money, that have money coming in, that have businesses that are cash flowing, they got to use that. They got to put that money somewhere. It's just like what Michael Saylor said. You can only how many houses are you going to buy? How much property are you going to buy? How many cars are you going to buy?
I mean, how much Bitcoin are you going to buy though, too?
Bro, give me some more. Like,
no, I'm not arguing you. I'm not arguing you. I'm just saying in general. It's just that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm agreeing with you in terms of price will just go up.
Welcome back, everybody.
It's another week.
Your favorite crypto podcast.
Sometimes crypto.
The Unscripted
Crypto podcast.
Heyo.
Heyo.
It's
my chair's not empty next to me.
Yeah.
Which is always empty. So I don't have an armrest today.
It's been empty for a couple weeks already.
Too long.
Yeah, too long. Way too long. So I invited another friend because we love having people.
Every guest you bring on is your friend, apparently. I want you to know that.
Yeah,
I want to be very clear on this.
I feel like
you're a friend whore. Okay?
No, man.
You're a friend whore.
So I've hung out with him a couple times at the Bitcoin brunch and some Bitcoin events, and
which we had the host of Bitcoin brunch on here early on.
Yeah, we did. Prem was on here already. Yeah, it was a fun episode.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So my name's Jae. I'm the owner of Proof of Work Fitness. I'm a fitness and mindset coach for Bitcoiners and busy professionals. And yeah, so you guys can check me out on Instagram, YouTube. I'm on Twitter, but I don't really post there that much. Just JPOW Fitness. And I'm on Nostr, Proof of Work Fitness.
Nostr.
And
what is that?
I'm on Stacker News, Proof of Work Fitness.
So
you're on everywhere.
Yeah, I'm on a bunch of different stuff. Like
all links will be in description, so everyone's aware.
So you mentioned Nostr.
What is that?
So Nostr is like notes and other stuff transmitted over relays, and basically it's sort of, the clients that I use is sort of like a decentralized Twitter kind of format, to where you just get on other people's relays. It's sort of like a node, I guess, and they choose what or not to
share.
Yeah, whether or not to show on their feeds, and if you post something there, you can't really like delete it or edit it. So it's not like that. I don't think they have an algorithm. I'm not sure. It's just like you post it there, and whoever you're connected to, then you're connected with them. There's some like South Florida ones that I'm connected to. There's like a Damus. But I don't really know a whole lot about it.
Damus is one of the clients.
Yeah, Damus is one of the clients. It has an app. It's like one of the cleanest and most popular apps.
So when we say client, it's not like an actual client, like someone who's going and buying something. A client is more so. So Nostr, you said notes, other things transmitted over relay. It's a protocol for decentralized media.
Right. Yeah.
Client is how you interact with that protocol, and there's different clients. Damus is one of them. I know there's other ones, and is Damus the one that you use?
I use I can't remember. It's got a like an ostrich or something emu on it.
Okay.
It's called Amethyst.
Amethyst?
Yeah, Amethyst is the one.
And that one shows you the information, like kind of like the media, as if it was.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Twitter. And that's there's different ones that do different things, but that's kind of the one that I go with because I have an Android phone. Okay. Apple. If you have an Apple phone, then that would be Damus. That's probably the top one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But there's different ones that you can use on your computer too.
Was it hard to like get into it, or is you download the client?
It was really easy. I was waiting until I could like get it all set up and write down my code and all this kind of stuff, so I didn't do it. And then during the conference, I was at a BitDevs or like something at their facility there, and I met somebody who was like, "Oh, here, follow me," and it's just like scan a QR code. Boom, get my InPub, and it was easy to set up. I started putting stuff on there, and I post my fitness content, my mindset content, and just try to help people, to share some information. So it's actually been getting some traction here lately. People have been asking me questions like, oh, I'm trying to gain some weight. Like, what should I do? Like eat more.
Yeah. Apparently people like actually really struggle with gaining weight. I've had a friend tell me like, oh, you're lucky. Cause I told him, I was like, I'm weighing too much, 200 pounds. And he's like, no, I wish. And I was like,
yeah, there's this thing. It's called NEAT. It's non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and a lot of times, like your body will subconsciously start to move more. Like if somebody that's like naturally like I guess like endomorph, or somebody that's naturally skinny or like slender build, they'll move more than like once they like get over their whatever their calorie
intake is.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, like whatever their normal is. Like if they start eating more than that. Like before their body will start, putting that away as fat, it'll start to make them move more. You'll see them
like
twitching their leg.
Oh, really?
Like,
that's a thing.
Yeah, and then but it's a subconscious thing. So it's non-exercise activity. So it's stuff that they're not conscious. I mean, they're not doing it like going and doing sets and reps and going to run, but they're just moving more throughout the day. And so to compensate for that, though, they have to
eat a lot more,
or you have to add a protein shake, or something like that with some. I use almond milk, because I'm not necessarily the same way. I mean, if I eat too much, I'll gain weight, but it's hard for me. It's just like mentally, I'm like, I get full. I don't want to eat anymore.
What is that called again? It started with an
N. Endomorph?
No, it was like
NEAT.
NEAT.
Non-exercise activity thermogenesis.
Okay, so and that's the when you start consuming too many calories or above your like.
That's just like everything that you do outside of like physical activity and
exercise. Okay.
But when somebody that's like more slender, whenever they eat too much, they usually
tend to like start
they'll burn it off in
more
other
active
ways.
Okay, that's interesting. I never heard of anything like that.
Yeah, kind of plugged into that kind of stuff. That's I don't know. I'd be like the big nerds just reading a bunch of like.
I mean, you got it. That's your department.
Science journals and stuff like that, and exercise science stuff, and be watching YouTubes and people talking about the new research and stuff like that. So it's it's what I do for fun.
Yeah, fitness. I mean, it's fun. It's not only fun; it's also like good for you. Just improving health is.
Like I said, I'm a fitness and mindset coach for Bitcoiners and busy professionals. Outside of Bitcoin, outside of personal fitness training, I'm a pharmacist, and so I'm a busy professional myself. So I'm like, how can I work out the least as possible and get the most out of it? So. I'm a big fan of Mike Mincer. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Mike Mincer.
I think I've heard of him.
So
I don't know.
You should check out some of the YouTube stuff. He was like a really philosophical kind of sciencey-esque kind of bodybuilder back in the 70s. And of course he was on juice and stuff like that. But his whole thing was like, you want to like have high intensity training or a heavy duty program.
This guy, right?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. So you want to like work out really hard with just one maybe two sets. And then rest for days after that, so that kind of take a hold and make sure you're eating, but you don't have to go crazy on the protein, crazy on the calories, because the more that you go over on your over your caloric target, the more that you're going to be storing that as fat. And so you're going to have to cut that off and lose it later. So just over on your calories just a little bit, but train really hard when you're in there. But you don't have to be in there for 2 hours. You can be in there for 45 minutes. Just a few times a week, and that's where I was like, okay, let me learn more about this.
And that's to gain weight.
That's to gain weight. Yeah. I mean, to lose weight, that's really a calorie thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to exercise, but you can lose weight without exercising.
Just
caloric deficit.
Caloric deficit.
Caloric deficit. Yeah.
With still like maintaining a high amount of protein, so you don't lose muscle mass.
Well, that's going to help you to lose less, to like keep your protein higher. And then also there's the thermic effect of food, where like if you eat say 100 calories of carbs, you're going to get that many calories. If you eat 100 calories of fat, you're going to get that many calories. But if you eat 100 calories of protein, it actually takes a few, I don't know exactly what the ratio is, but there's like a few of those calories per gram, because there's 4 calories a gram for protein, 4 calories a gram for carbs, 9 calories a gram for fat. And so a few of those calories to burn 1 gram of fat will actually be used in all the processing and all the systems that your body uses to break it down. So if you eat, say, 1,000 calories worth of protein, which would be a lot, that would be a lot of protein to eat, maybe like, say, 800 calories worth of protein. You're not going to get 800 calories from that. You would get, say, I don't know, I'm just going to throw a number out there, like say 690 or 720, something like that.
Okay.
So if you're keeping your, and plus it's going to make you more satiated. So, if you're keeping your protein higher, you're going to make sure you hit your goal. But the absolute goal is not really that high, like something like 0.6 or 0.8 grams per kilogram. That that ends up being like 60, 70 grams depending on how big you are. But if you want to optimize for muscle growth and to decrease the amount of muscles that you lose, then a round number of 1 gram per pound of body fat, if you just aim towards that, like say if you weigh 150, aiming for 150 grams, you're going to be fine. Like even if you go a little bit under that, because like that's kind of overkill. But you got to get your calories from somewhere. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't want to like, let's just say you're a 2,000 calorie a diet person, 2,000 calorie a day person. You don't want to like eat 1,000 calories, right? Because then you're going to put your body like in starvation mode, and then it's going to like get more efficient because your body is a machine, and it's it doesn't know when you're going to eat again. So by the time, if you do that for a couple of weeks and then you go back up, like, okay, I'm done my cut, I lost my 14 pounds, whatever, for my wedding or for the beach or whatever it is, then you start eating your 2,000 calories again, you're going to notice that you're going to start gaining weight because your body is more efficient now. It's good on 1,800 calories, so
yeah, you have a surplus,
right? And so that's why it's good to like lower your caloric target slowly over time, so that you can maintain as much muscle mass as possible, and then also not throw off that balance.
I didn't know that the body gets like efficient like that.
Man, it's amazing. Like once you like really start looking into it, like it's like, wow, like whoever the creator is, when you just even see how an eyeball works,
eyeball's crazy.
It's crazy.
I know how that one works a little bit.
Uh-huh.
So glasses, we
okay.
So we talked about it with the doctor at the time. Yeah, it's
eyeballs are like fascinating. I feel like they're just like a big pool of like just liquid.
Oh no, man, it's just electronics and like flipping images around.
Yeah, it's a.
Oh, like the whole optics behind everything.
Yeah. I also has to read depth perception of all corners. It's different if you have one eyeball or you have one eye closed. It changes it, and then has to adapt to the one eye. So that's why people sometimes with one eye can drive. They just learn to adapt. That this is a little further in here than here.
Oh, so that you can learn how to figure out depth perception with one eye.
People that are born like without hands, they get like these extra sensories and stuff like senses, like with their feet, and they can manipulate.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that.
Like it's like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, you just learn how to fit and survive within your body. But like I thought that like if you only had one eye, like depth perception is just that's it. It's gone out the window.
It's changed, but not complete. It's
just
altered.
different. Yeah, it's definitely not as beneficial as having two eyes. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the human body is really fascinating. But I still struggle like keeping a high protein diet. Like I don't know. I just always looking out, and I'm like, this is ridiculously.
Have you ever tracked it? Like
I did it.
No.
I did.
It's tough. Whenever I really started getting into it, because I was at the gym and there's this guy who's huge, and he had saw me doing some Nordic curls, and then I saw him doing this workout where he was like grabbing a hold of the pull-up bar, and then he had the cable. He had the cable thing tied to his, or like around his ankles, and he was doing it like this, and he was pulling up and working his core. I was like, oh man, that's a great workout. I'm gonna have to do that. And he was like, yeah, I saw what you're doing over there too. He's like, you're working hard, and he's like, you got a great base there. You just got to eat more. And I'm thinking like, I'm all cut up and I'm looking good, and then this guy's just like on a big old mass monster, and I'm like, man, he's right. I gotta eat more. Because I know I'm not eating enough. Like, that's how you can like stay lean and chiseled, and like, as somebody that's lean, you get like addicted to the look, and you get like, man, I want to stay like this, and then you gain 5 or 10 pounds, your cuts start getting softer, and then you're like, oh man, like I gotta cut back down. Like I'm on social media, and then you feel like, and people resonate with that kind of stuff, but it's not healthy to like stay super lean all the time. It messes with your hormones, and like I said, like psychologically, like you could get sucked in this body dysmorphia where you're like, oh man, I'm like, I can't gain weight, I can't eat this, I can't eat that, and that's not a healthy place to be. So what I did though is I started, okay, here's how many calories that I need. I look it up. You can look it up on tdecalculator.net. So it's TDEE, so total daily energy expenditure. Putting
I'm looking
weight,
at it.
and then in your age or whatever, and your activity level, and then it'll spit out like how many calories that you should shoot for, and then you use that. You can use a digital food scale, and just do your best to sort of actually see how much you're.
The scale helps a lot, like crazy when it comes to tracking.
On my Fitness Pal and on my app actually has it as well. The Proof of Work Fitness app.
Oh, you got an app?
Yeah, I have an app.
Cool.
So whenever I'm logging my nutrition, I can scan the barcode of food and stuff like that, and then it'll tell me like, okay, how much is in this serving, how much protein, how much all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's it. And then you can kind of get a feel for it. It's like, okay, well, this is what 1,000 calories of like carbs and protein looks like if I'm eating spaghetti, depending on what your mix is and stuff like that. And then then you can kind of guide you whenever you're not tracking, whenever you're like going out to eat. Of course, it's going to be a little bit more indulgent whenever you're going to a restaurant, but that's one of the things that I would advise anybody. Like if you're trying to lose weight, if you're trying to gain weight, the more you can control, the better. So cooking your own food, and then it's just getting a feel for it, and then tracking at least once a week as far as your weight, and that way you can hold yourself accountable and recording that somewhere, setting an alarm so that you can go back and check. Hey, did I lose weight this week or did I gain weight? Because you don't want to gain weight too quick, right? Because that means you're putting on too much fat and rather than muscle if you're trying to gain weight. But you also don't want to lose weight super quick, because that means you're losing muscle.
Muscle, yeah. The one food that I've always like been super fascinated with is octopus. Not a fan?
I mean, it's just the texture.
Oh, you don't like the texture?
Just the texture, man. Yeah.
It's too tough.
Yeah, it's just so
like slimy, kind of.
It's like all. I mean, if it was like a gummy worm, okay, if it was sweet, and had some salt on it or something.
Yeah, you see. But yeah, no, I mean, in terms of like nutritional values, 100 grams of octopus has 163 calories and 30 grams of protein.
Wow.
It's insane.
How much?
30 grams of protein.
Jesus.
For 163 calories. I was like, once I learned that, I was like, I think I'm just gonna have like tentacles coming out of my nostrils at some point with how much I'll be eating.
I just watched Scarface recently, and he was talking about whenever he coming over on the boat, he said he's been eating octopus. He's like, I got octopus coming out of my nose.
Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you, 30 grams of protein for 163 calories, that's a steal.
Yeah, that's wild.
In terms of like,
he's like, I might not like the texture, but I might get on that.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. You said 100 grams?
Yeah, 100 grams.
Wow.
Yeah.
You said 100 grams?
Yeah, so 100 grams of octopus has 163 calories and 30 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, because the 30 grams of the protein, it's 120 calories right there.
That's 120 calories.
Yeah.
Okay. So then two.
So 4 grams.
4 grams
per gram.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 calories per gram of protein. Yeah, he said that. And then
I didn't catch it. That's what he said.
Yeah, and then it has 2 grams of fat and 4 grams of carbs.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
A little carbs in there. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting, right?
Yeah, it is, because I mean, on Stacker News, everybody's been going crazy about the carnivore diet. Like, I mean, every other post on the health like page or whatever is about the carnivore diet and somebody's journey on the carnivore. Which, hey, more power to you, but I just don't believe in the restrictive kind of diets.
Dieting, yeah.
I went down that road whenever I first started getting into fitness and nutrition. Went down all these different diets and stuff like that, but the more I learned about nutrition, it's just balanced diet rich in protein, calorie deficit or calorie surplus. It's just simple as that.
Don't complicate it.
Because if you think about it, all diets are just restrictions.
Yeah, I mean, most diets are. So it's like that. Like, what's your game plan? It's like if you're trying to reach a goal, but then like the way you reach that goal is like people say through dieting. But
I think it's better to try to like have the mindset like you're gonna adopt a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh well, maybe. But don't get me wrong. If it's late at night and I haven't ate that day or haven't ate enough, I'm gonna go to the McDonald's or something. I'm gonna eat that. Like, is it the best? Probably not. But
yeah, still.
I'd rather do that than just not eat anything.
Then just
especially if I'm doing like now, I'm trying to bulk.
Mm-hmm.
If I was cutting, I'm like, okay, it's just intermittent fast.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
You're like,
drink some water.
You're like, I'll drink 5 cups of water. I'm filled.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that maybe one of those liquid IVs along with it, so you don't get a headache. To me, man, I'll get a headache if I fast for like more than a day, drinking a bunch of water. I'll start getting headaches.
Fast more than a day?
Yeah,
I've never done that.
Is 5.
I was about to ask that.
5 days?
Yeah,
I've only done 24 hours.
I've never done any of that. I don't think I've ever
Yeah,
gone a day.
Times, like if you watch YouTube videos, they'll tell you, oh, okay, you gotta like start off really small with like some soup or there maybe some broth and all this stuff. I went and smashed like a plate and a half of oxtail. I was so hungry. I was like just fantasizing about this oxtail for like, I don't know. Like it's not that, it's the first day is the toughest, and then the second day is not so bad. Third day wasn't that bad. You know, but then I knew I was going to be ending on at 120 hours. So like the last like 6 or 7 hours, I was just thinking about it like nonstop.
You're just like food.
Yeah, I'm going to get oxtail. I'm going to drive an hour. You know, I was at Tennessee at the time, and I went to the only like Jamaican restaurant I could find. I was missing down here. I was
yeah. Oh, down here, there's a lot of good Jamaican places.
Dutch pot is the best.
A Dutch pot? No. There was one that I went to not too long ago. I don't remember the name. I gotta find it. I'll let you know. But it's on US 7.
Oh, okay.
Damn, I gotta remember it. But it was
so
really good. Yeah.
There's a lot of good.
Yeah, there's a lot over here. But no, why did you decide to go 5 days without fasting?
Well, I was just, I got really into the autophagy part of it, and so like
English.
So,
I'm sorry.
Facts. No facts.
Like,
Facts.
English?
So autophagy is whenever your body will basically recycle its old cells. So like if there's a weak cell or there's a weak part of your body or something like that, your body will just like absorb that and use that, and then like based on the research and the studies, they've shown that people that due to religious or whatever reason, they have like lower rates of cancer and all that kind of stuff, and they're postulating or they're theorizing that that's because whenever you go into autophagy, it's eating up those bad cells or those cells
and creating new ones.
And making new ones. And so it's kind of like a renewal system for the body. It gives the digestive system a break, because we're usually eating all the time. It's just every 8 hours. And like diet wise, or as far as like fat loss, like if you take 2 people, they're consuming the exact number of calories over 6 or 12 whatever weeks. It doesn't matter if they're keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting, just basic calorie restriction, 500 calories a day, whatever it is, alternate day eating or whatever intermittent fasting plan you want to go with. It's all the same as long as their activity. Everybody has different physiology, but still, like as long as the calories are the same, there's not that much difference in the amount of fat loss. But it was the autophagy part where like, okay, well maybe I can clean up some of my cells. Like I used to drink a lot, and I was like, I'll probably mess some stuff up. So, and maybe my McDonald's kind of messed up some cells or something like that. So let me get some of this stuff out and do like a sort of cleanse. It's
That's interesting.
Like cleanse in a sense, like I'm going to drink this juice. We have livers, so that's your livers and your kidneys, and your lungs filter your blood, so you don't have to do a cleanse. That's like fad.
That's interesting. Might have to try that one day.
Yeah, and
just
you get to like this place.
I won't record with you for that week. I want you to know that. You get angry.
Probably.
Yeah, the first day is tough for sure, but once you go to, for me anyway, once you go to sleep and you wake up, like my energy don't drop down. I feel more clear. Like that's why I got really hooked on the intermittent fasting, is because it was just so much easier to just go through my whole work day without eating and slowing down and getting sleepy. But then once you only cut for so long, and then I'm trying to gain weight I'm on a mission trying to gain like 10 pounds of lean mass.
Yeah.
So I'm going up to like 170, and then I'm going to cut down and see how much I can hang on to. So now I got to eat more. So I can't do it eating all one meal in a day. It's just miserable trying to eat.
Such a large caloric deficit at that point, right? Throughout the day.
Do it now.
It's such a large caloric deficit throughout the day to try to jam it pack at the last 7 hours.
Trying to get around 3,000 calories at the in one sitting, like without just eating like spoonfuls of peanut butter and milk and stuff like that. I don't really do dairy, so it's just a lot to do, and it makes me uncomfortable. And that's usually my biggest meal that I go to bed, and I don't like going to bed with that much food in my stomach. So I started doing a shake in the morning. It's like I started doing it like a double shake, so like 2 cups of almond milk, like the sweetened almond milk, and then I'll do 2 or 4 scoops. It's 30 grams per 2 scoops, and so it's 60 grams of protein. I do that in the morning, and then I continue to do my work and stuff like that, and then I'll have like some carbs or something right before I go to my workout. You know, a few hundred calories of carbs, 200 calories of carbs, and then go bust out a workout.
Yeah, carbs are always good pre-workout.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like I used to intermittent fast, and I think, oh, no carbs are bad, and then I can tell the difference. Like whenever I go to workout and I have some carbs, and it's not like right before my workout, but it's had enough time to digest and get in my bloodstream. I feel way better now doing that, like running faster, longer, and like feeling better during the workout without feeling like, winded and stuff like that. So, I'm always arguing with the carnivore guys. It's like, yeah, you may feel better, and and like that's a benefit as far as being clear-headed and stuff like that. But carbs aren't the devil, and they do help, and especially if you're trying to do stuff that's athletic. You need that quick burst of energy. I talked about it a little bit earlier on when I was running about the 3 different energy systems. So like if you're doing a sprint or you're doing like some heavy lifting, your body has enough ATP stored up to use for like a second or two, right? And then it'll start to break down glycogen, which is the storage molecule of glucose, and that lasts for a few minutes, and then that gives your body enough time to break down the fat so that it can supply like a big bolus of energy or whatever, and more ATP. And so all the time that your body is using that, and then depending on what you're doing, you're either using more glucose or you're using more fat. So if you're like doing like a marathon, you're breaking down more fat and you're using oxygen to do that. But if you're sprinting or you're lifting heavy weights, then you're using it's just the storage glycogen and the glucose. So having glucose, it helps you have some actually more glycogen to break down, so you don't like hit like a wall.
Have energy for.
I'll let you guys say something, because I had some other stuff I was going to say about getting to that wall, or whenever you pretty much use up all your glycogen, it just feels like you're like, oh man,
you're drained.
You're drained. Yeah, like, you can't push.
You hear people talk about hitting a wall. That's why marathon they'll like eat those liquid glycogen stuff and dextrose.
Oh really?
It's like dextrose,
like a little like a jelly type thing.
Yeah, it's in dextrose is like the closest form that we have that we can ingest that's to glucose that your body can break down is easiest, and quickest. So that's why they use that, so they can fuel their bodies whenever they're running mid-run. I did an obstacle course race in November, and I did pretty good. I got 6th out of 655 competitors.
God
like
damn!
5K,
Wow.
30 obstacles. It's my first one, but I get like 3/4 of the way through it, or almost through it, and then I wanted to stop. Like my legs were like locking up, almost fell down. But I knew people were watching me. I could hear people cheering me on, and I was like, all right, we just got to grin and bear it. It's just get through it. But I was like, man, I definitely got to do better as far as my nutrition, because before I drank some juice or something before, but I didn't have like a good enough meal, with a lot of carbs in it. Now like I understand like carb loading and like trying to build up some glycogen before.
And nutrition is super important. I found the name of the restaurant. It was called Coconuts Fusion.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think I've heard that. It's probably like on one of my maps or something, because I've heard of that before.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It seems super popular, because when I was there, people were coming in and out like crazy.
Yeah, that's the way it is at Dutch Pot. It's like they're like a franchise, but it's no
I
matter which one you go
yeah,
to,
I think there's a Dutch
cool.
Pot not far from there. From like the US 7, like State Road 7. There's a bunch, like you said. There's a bunch of like island restaurants over there.
Oh yeah.
Crazy. So you said you're a pharmacist, and we were talking. You mentioned something about like someone who's juicing. Like, you said that like people who juice recover faster.
Oh yeah. I had mentioned that earlier today. So yeah, that's part of what happens. Like whenever you're getting more testosterone and all the other stuff that they're using, is you recover faster. And so like whenever you see some of these workouts, like if you go online and you look at Arnold or some of these other guys that are big bodybuilders, and they're juicing, and like you look at their workouts and it's like they're doing like 30 sets.
They are.
Wow. Yeah.
Arnold's workout was like leg day was like 4 sets for like everyone's specific muscle group.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're like really pushing it.
Of that day.
Yeah, but they're gonna slam a bunch of food, and then they're gonna of course get their sleep, but then also that stuff that it just ramps up everything, it speeds up everything, and it helps them to recover faster. So that and that's from I read a lot of forums and stuff like that, and people say that's one of the biggest things is knowing that you can recover. Like you go and destroy yourself, and then you get back in and you're feeling better like a day or two later. Whereas if you're doing it natural, tomorrow I'm gonna be like, oh man.
Yeah, we're
You're
gonna
gonna
be.
be
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna be sore for a day or two.
Yeah.
Damn.
But it's all good. Like I don't. I thought about it for a while. Like I was like, I don't want to do that, but that's not my thing. I don't want to go down that route. I want to.
No, yeah, 100% natty.
Yeah, I'm a scaredy cat.
He's not scared of needles.
Well, no, I'm not scared of needles. I just would like, what if I mess myself up? What if I have to like be on TRT forever? I wouldn't want to do that.
I don't know. I just feel like the side effects are also kind of like,
right. Like you don't
unpredictable.
Know how it's gonna affect you.
Yeah.
Like I want to have kids one day, and that if you
That
don't do it right,
can affect. I've read that. I've heard that. It can affect that. But also depends the dosages too.
Like
people go crazy.
Yeah, people who are like.
Yeah, because like people get like addicted to it. Also, like the pump is, it's like a nice
Well,
feeling.
they're always chasing that pump.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you start taking creatine, like when I was taking creatine, I was like, damn, this is nice. I want more. But then I was like, wait.
That's the gateway drug.
Right? Yeah, creatine gets you into trenbolone. Nah.
No, yeah. Well, not as you say that. I'm not 100% natty because I do creatine.
Okay.
That's natural enough. There's
It's just
creatine in your
supplements.
food.
There's creatine in the food. Yeah. It's just a supplement.
You're not taking Deca at least, so you're good.
Yeah, or one of those SARMs.
I've never heard of Deca or SARMs.
Yeah.
First time I hear about both of them.
So Deca is like a more potent.
That's
kind of steroid.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real deal one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then the SARMs, they're like they attach to like the testosterone receptors, but they're not actual testosterone.
Okay.
Something like that.
I see.
Or maybe they block estrogen receptors. It's something like that.
Okay.
You can tell he doesn't take them.
Yeah.
And now he would know this. He would know.
If you're taking it, you should know, right? Yeah, absolutely. So what's up with the like intersection between like Bitcoin and fitness?
Well, yeah, I had a question before
Okay,
you did that.
go.
So for your clients, you accept crypto?
Oh, absolutely. That's
I just want to make sure.
Fitness. Yeah, I mean,
I just want to make sure.
I prefer like if somebody wants to pay me in Bitcoin, I'll give them 20% off all services.
Okay.
Cool. And it's tough because like sometimes Bitcoin can go down 80%, but like I believe in Bitcoin and I want more Bitcoin.
Well, we're down like 17 right now from last peak we just hit.
From local peak.
From local peak.
You can
17%.
17.
I'm
Yeah.
like, to 17,000, I could even buy some.
No, yeah, we're like, sell the house. Where's the car? We're selling. We sold that. We got rid of it. We got rid of the car. No, 70%. It's at 41.
Okay.
41.
Right now.
Yeah, I saw it went below 42. Like I don't look at the price.
Yeah.
My Robinhood like gives me alerts.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, you got like old trader set up.
Oh, look at the price.
Yeah. He's the trading.
Yeah, I saw some of y'all's podcasts talking about you lost like $100 or $200 from Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing a trade.
That was because of Bitcoin, by the way. It's when it did this wick right here.
Oh wow.
This is on a weekly chart, but this one right here is when it dipped like that. So right around here is when Doge, everything got liquidated. Well, almost everything.
Yeah, everything got down.
Yeah, today, let me go to the day before.
Yeah, so I saw this post where like someone was like, nah, 1 Bitcoin equals infinite amount of USD. Like it's just infinite USD.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole premise. It's like if you have something with a fixed supply, and you have something of an unlimited supply going into something with a fixed supply. It took me a long time to get it.
No, this is a rocket ship. Now, especially with this ETF that's just like that.
I mean, I figured that ETF was going to be a nothing burger as far as like sell the news kind of price kind of thing, at least initially. Because
I'll take that answer. I was ready to argue. I was ready to fight right now. He said that to me last. The episode that's coming out this week. He said that to me. I was like, no, it wasn't. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
initially I'll take it.
Like it's going to take like months and years. I mean, it'll be like another year or two before like some of the other people are like, okay, we're going to include this in our fund, or we're going to offer this to our clients. We've seen like it's been here a year and it hasn't imploded, blah blah blah. We see that these people are making money off these fees, even Bitwise. I think they're charging 0.2.
Yes.
So like however many 20 basis points.
That's a 20 basis.
20 basis. Yeah.
Well, I mean, just because you said that, and I'm already arguing it. I'm against that answer.
He's getting excited.
Because I was saving it. Might as well. So BlackRock already has 1 billion AUM.
Wow. Under
management as of today. And
that's awesome.
And the ETF has only been out for 5 days.
I think there's been like 10 billion or something or total.
Volume, yes. That's a lot of outflow though, because Grayscale holds a metric fuck ton.
Yeah.
like how much was it? It was 600. Well, right now it's like,
like
five something.
100,000 Bitcoin.
500,000 Bitcoin they hold.
Like they're one of the biggest Bitcoin holders.
current-
Yeah, I know it's a lot. I know it's more than Coinbase has.
They hold the most.
Yeah, it's
And their current value is 25 billion, but their current fees it's 1.25%.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of outflow, either taking profit or just transferring over to BlackRock or one of these other ones.
Yeah, Bitwise has the lowest. Like I've been trying to get my stepdad to buy some. He's been asking me to get him some Bitcoin for the last 2 years. It was at 40,000 2 years ago, and he was like, "All right, give me some Bitcoin." And then I'm like, "All right, get your bank account set up. Send me the money, blah blah blah." And then I'd call him every once in a while, and then try to get him to do it. And it's always something. He's never ready right then. And then it went down to 20. I was like, "Bro, like
now
sell the house, sell the house."
Like, give me $500, just give it to me, and I'll put it in there.
Yeah.
And anyway, now I was like, "We're back at 40, Dad."
You're like
we still got time. We can still sell the house.
Yeah, it's like it's not too late.
No,
sell the
It's not
house.
too late. That's what I always tell people.
It's
people think they missed it. And you got to get off. You got to get into some altcoin, or you got to do all this other stuff, and it's like just.
He said that. I already got hot again. I'm ready. He got me anxious. He got me itchy.
So definitely Bitcoin. Like, I feel like you definitely you can't miss it because it's going to be going up in value up until like the year the 2100 when the last Bitcoin's mined and it's all in circulation. Obviously, market's going to go up and down, but we're still going to see a lot of adoption from here on out. Yeah. So there are plenty of especially if you're trying to earn fiat. Like fiat has been depreciating since the inception of it. So like the US dollar has lost like about 95% of its value since the Federal Reserve Bank was created.
97.
And that's going to get worse because our debt just keeps on going up.
Exactly.
All they can do is keep on printing money.
Exactly.
At this point.
Yeah, and like Japan is even worse than we are. They're like 260. We're at like 130% of our GDP is in debt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, that's just two. They're all in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
Europe is not doing any better, nor Germany. They're included.
Bitcoin's definitely reaching its point of maturity, where the insane volatility that we're used to, I think, is going to start dwindling down, and that goes also with like the returns that you could possibly see. We're not going to see 15, 20x returns on Bitcoin anymore. At least I don't think so. Short term.
People have been saying.
Short term.
ETF, like it's going to, dampen some of that volatility.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I still think, with what he was saying about the money supply, the money supply is still growing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so like people that have assets, or people that have all this money, that have money coming in, that have businesses that are cash flowing, they got to use that. They got to put that money somewhere. You can only buy so many houses. It's just like what Michael Saylor said. You can only how many houses are you going to buy? How much property are you going to buy? How many cars are you going to buy?
I mean, how much Bitcoin are you going to buy though, too?
Bro, give me some more.
No, I'm not arguing you. I'm not arguing you. I'm just saying in general. It's just that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm agreeing with you in terms of price will just go up because the more people who just buying in,
I mean, like
pay a higher premium at one point or another.
Like looking at the fact of how many millionaires there are in America, there's not enough if all of them wanted a Bitcoin. So there's about like 40 some millionaires in 40 some million millionaires in America.
Bitcoin is the only asset where when you increase and when the price increases, the supply doesn't increase.
Yeah.
So that will get some of the people that are hodling to come out and sell, but it's not going to bring. Not yet. No. I mean, we're going to have to get probably six figures before people start. I mean, I think when we get back to previous highs or close to previous highs, people are going to get scared and they're going to start selling. But once it gets to like 80, people are going to be like, oh man, I should have sold. And they're going to
buy back in
to push us to like 100, 120. I really don't even think about price that much other than like, okay, if I have this much Bitcoin, what would this mean? Like, should I get more Bitcoin? Yes. It's always like one of these things like
yes. It always falls down to that. I feel like in terms of like a return, a 5x is like almost like the top that we're gonna be able to see now. But that being a 5x
when within what time frame or just in general?
Like
because you made me nervous. You said 5x. I'm like, I don't know about that. No. 5x is a lot right now in 2 years.
Yeah. Like
that's why I was like, wait.
So like I feel like that's the max they could probably do in like 4 years, let's say. But even then, Bitcoin halving isn't going to be for another 4 more years. So six. Let's say 6 years.
We're still, don't rush things.
Don't rush. Let's
first. We got 3 months into this next one. It's like, whoa,
let's first get our 6 figures. Let's first get our first 100,000 plus Bitcoin.
And as the market increases, that attracts more capital.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There's still sovereign wealth funds that can't even touch it yet. Right. There's still like other asset managers that can't touch it until it's a 2 billion or 2 trillion market.
Yeah,
cap.
depending on their policies and what they do. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So like. I hear things like that, but I listen to a lot of financial stuff too, and people have brought that up. That I'm like, that makes sense, because at first I was thinking that too, like, okay, we're it's pretty much done now, right? Like we missed it, but I thought that at 10.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that when it went to 20,
No.
And the people that were in it back in the day, like you would see that you could see like the old tweets was like, oh, I'm glad I sold my Bitcoin at $8
or at 20
or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
$20, not 20,000, by the way.
Yeah.
For me, I actually feel like it just naturally clicked. I was like, oh, it's fixed and it's like not like fuckable with, like right. It's like because immutable, it's so decent. Yeah, immutable. There we go. Let's go. This is more PC. Absolutely more better word to use. So knowing that it's fixed like that, I was like, this is going. This is just gonna run. It's gonna be like the thing that will replace what we have now. It just seemed like a better like alternative.
So let me add something else.
Let's go.
The ETF has already surpassed the second largest ETF. It has already become the second largest ETF. It was gold, silver, and then whatever other commodity. It's currently the second behind gold.
Wow.
And gold's
wow
is like a 96 billion.
That's actually extremely interesting.
96 billion.
Yeah. ETF.
The ETF, yeah.
The ETF itself.
Yeah, but gold actually had the same issue that Bitcoin's going through now when the ETF first came out, where they didn't see a lot of like volume. And as time progressed, like for gold, it was more so years, because you kind of had to like know how the stock market worked and you had to be really educated, versus now with the whole, the fact that like everyone's has easy accessibility to the internet and they're typically more aware of what's going on in the market. I feel like Bitcoin is going to have the same issue that gold had at the beginning, where like it's going to take a little while for it to start like ramping up in terms of volume. But since it's so easily accessible now and everyone's already like retail traders are a thing now, that wasn't a thing before, I think it's going to catch on faster. So like it's not going to have that slow like rise as gold did, and it will happen just relatively faster.
Also, there's a lot of people who are going to not jump into the ETF and just buy the underlying asset, since it's
100%.
in the palm of your hands as well.
Mm-hmm.
So buy it.
Like you mentioned Robinhood. Like if you could get Bitcoin on Robinhood, which you can, or buy the ETF on Robinhood, why not just buy
which you can
Bitcoin itself?
Options.
Exactly.
Which that's coming out now. They're starting to file for options trading on Bitcoin and other potential ways
really?
of selling it. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And on the ETF, and like they're doing like an inverse, like a 2x.
A 2x or 3x.
Yeah. It was like I know the one that I read, it was like a negative 2x inverse, spot Bitcoin. I was like, oh wow, get wrecked. Man, you got to watch those. Like,
which that's the next thing.
Volatility will eat you up.
Yeah.
If you get like I was like, oh man, I could just like buy 3x QQQ and just get rich. But like the volatility will eat you up if you like hang on to those things. It's good for like a daily trade, but not to just like throw in your 401k and hang on to it.
Yeah, no. This is degen move. Straight up degeneracy. But like, I feel like also when we have large influential figures constantly talking bad about Bitcoin, like
why you gotta talk about Jamie Dimon like that?
Because
he wants more Bitcoin.
I mean, he's not the only one.
Leave him out of this. He's already in Davos talking about that.
Elizabeth Warren also.
Man, I hate that old lady. I don't even know her.
It's a psyop. It's just like,
absolutely. Jamie Dimon's absolutely scooping up. We talked about it. Like, it was like, oh, he's selling so much of his shares. He's got to be scooping up Bitcoin.
Exactly. Yeah, he's selling JP Morgan and he's buying Bitcoin. He's like,
he's
like, sell the shares. And he's like,
he's pulling a Peter Schiff. He's pulling a Schiff.
Not even that. He goes, he went on Congress, goes, don't buy Bitcoin. It's not a real asset. It's garbage. This and the third. a week later, his company's creating a crypto team just to understand the market itself.
Yeah. And they have the JP Morgan coin or JP coin or whatever that is. But just not to get us off track, but to answer your question that you had asked before about fitness and Bitcoin or what the tie was, is we believe we have better money, right? So like my tagline of Proof Work Fitness is better money, better bodies. Stack sats, get fit. So like if our money is going to be better in 50 years, like what about your health? Like we're in Miami and you see all these guys crawling out of these Ferraris and these Lamborghinis, with these, sugar babies with them, and like you see their body and it's just wrecked. And it's like, bro, like you got that car. Like what if you would have invested some of your time as you were, doing whatever it is that you amassed this amount of wealth. What if you would have invested some of your time too into like your own education on this stuff? You can afford a chef, so like you can afford
like a nutritionalist, trainer.
You have no excuse like that. Like you want to take care of your body because that's the only place you have to live.
100%. It's your temple.
And that's the kind of the message, and that's my mission is to like change like the public's viewpoint of or perception of Bitcoiners, besides being these like shadowy colder like people on the internet, or like people that are like no anti-vax or really right wing, or people that are like trying to like skirt the government and not pay taxes. But I want them to also think about like, oh, these people care about their health, they care about their money, right? They're really passionate about their money and not being debased and having decentralized kind of stuff, and they also care about their health. Like they're into all the carnivore stuff is people being aware of like their diet and a lot of the processed foods and all that kind of stuff, which is great. And
so you said that
I just want to be a part of that.
You said that that carnivore conversation is going on on Stacker News.
Stacker News, yeah.
And they have like a health tab.
So it's weird. They used to have a fitness tab. They said they added it like, oh yeah, here's a place where you can put your fitness stuff. But then they've removed it.
I don't think I go on Stacker News all that often. Oh, I have it saved apparently.
I slept on it for like 2 weeks, and then they removed the fitness tab, so now I got to put it in the health tab.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. Having like an online business and having to like post to, there's like 10 or 12 different social medias. I'm on Threads too. It's a bunch, It's a bunch of stuff to keep up with. My main two are like Instagram and Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. I keep up with those, and then whenever I get other time, I post the other stuff. Yeah,
I've been meaning on getting on Nostr, but like for some reason I just like, I feel like it's complicated. But then,
or you should. Do you have Apple or Android?
Apple.
Download Damus now, and I'll show you my thing, and you can follow me.
Damus, yeah, that's
I mean, that's literally what I did. That's how I got onto it, and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's not as hard as I thought.
Absolutely. Jamie Dimon isn't the only person who's talking about Bitcoin. We also got. How do you feel about Javier Milei, the president of Argentina?
How do I feel about him? I watched some videos like that, kind of converted the stuff to English so I could kind of get a feel for him. But I mean, we just don't know. He's kind of like a
wild card.
Yeah,
kind of.
But the people there, I mean, if you look at what's happened to their money and their economy over the last 30 years, it's like, why not? Just like whenever people voted for Trump here, it's like, we knew what was going to happen with one view, so people were just like, hey, let's try something different. We tried it and we're like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
But still, like he come in with the crazy antics with the chainsaw, and I mean, now that's one thing pre-election, but actually, what can you actually do? What can you work through the government bureaucracy? That's going to be a different story.
Well, he wants to take the Elon approach and like just scrap half of it. And he's like get rid of every like ministry there, so like all like the subsections of the government. He wants to get rid of all of them.
That's a lot of money. I mean, any business, the biggest line item expense is labor, right? So it's the same thing when you have this government, all this bureaucracy, all these different boards, and all these whatever
inefficient. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's why I like the Vivek.
Because he was going to scrap everyone also.
75% he was going to get rid of. Couldn't find what I was looking for.
Oh, you're looking for something?
Yeah, whatever.
I thought you were looking at the charts.
No.
I always assume he's looking at the charts.
But then also, like, what's going to happen whenever you get rid of all these people, and then you have all these government people that aren't used to having to work hard because they had all these other underlings under them, and now they're having to work hard.
That's your value.
Maybe they quit though. Maybe they just like, and they take that knowledge with them, and now you got to get people that don't know how to do it, that don't know how things work, and they don't.
Oh, you're saying the people that stay? Well, at least all the money that you're saving from not paying all the other people, you could actually pay them a good wage.
Well, you're trying to save money though. You want to give it away back. What happened with Twitter? People were quitting, right?
No, Elon first got rid of half, then got rid of another portion. He only had about 1,800 to 1,300 employees. They were doing X amount of work. He goes, okay, what do I need? Because this isn't working 100%. He went back and goes, oh, I need you, and you, and just got back the guys who did do the work, and brought them back in, and just went, all right, this is our new team. He brought back some people he did fire.
Okay.
You can take the same approach.
I didn't really keep up with all that. I was just tired of hearing about Elon and Twitter and news every day. I was just tuned it out.
Yeah. When he buys Twitter, you would assume that he would be all over Twitter.
Yeah.
All over Twitter.
But that's what like Vivek's take was very similar to Elon's. Was we get rid of 75% of the government. He goes, it can probably run pretty well with that missing portion, just because we're getting rid of also all these other agencies that aren't being useful. And he goes, and if we need more people, we just hire back the ones that were working well and that we do need. And he goes, bring them back in.
It's a shame that he stepped down. I heard he stepped down after he didn't do well in Iowa.
Oh, he got destroyed in Iowa.
Man, I mean, people
wrecked.
in Iowa know,
I mean, Iowa. I ain't just saying because I really don't know
get
it.
some smoke.
But I am.
It was just one state.
That's what sucks, though.
you could have waited 2 more.
Because that's the most. If you're into crypto, that's like your guy. Because he was crypto forward thinking.
Right. I mean, he wasn't like this.
I just my biggest issue is I don't want an old guy in the.
Mine's too.
Yeah. Right. It's like you're making all.
Or anywhere changes, in Congress, anywhere else.
Especially Congress. It's like you're making these laws that's going to affect us.
And
like
and you're not.
You're amassing all this debt that you're not going to have to pay back.
Yeah.
You'll be dead by then.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
the only reassurance that I really have is that America is also one of the largest Bitcoin holders. So,
yes,
like, hopefully they don't get rid of their
the government.
Yeah, the government actually
sees like 200,000 worth of Bitcoin.
So, like, it's I remember saying on like some Bitcoiner was like, well, fiat, the governments have one of two options: reject Bitcoin completely, and fiat's death will come sooner, or accept Bitcoin and like back up their fiat with like backed by Bitcoin, and it will just slowly kill fiat.
I liked the like the business mindedness of some of the government people in Georgia, in Texas, in Florida, and other places that have like, okay, come Bitcoin miners, come set up here, give us the jobs, we'll give you some deals on the energy, blah blah blah, and yeah, that was really encouraging. It's like, oh, okay, cool, but it could be like is it a capture thing? Like I put my tinfoil hat on, they're trying to like. Get all
round us up,
here,
round us all up,
and then try to shut it down. But then we've already seen that before, like the miner, the hash rate, which is move.
Yeah,
wherever it just shifts. So
absolutely, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah,
it's just gonna persist.
But you need 51% of it to attack it.
Yeah,
it's expensive.
It's too expensive.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And it's getting worse.
Yeah. And you can't even buy the miners to just go and like if you had like. I have $10 trillion, to buy all the miners. Like,
you don't need all the power.
They literally can't even make them, it's crazy.
It doesn't exist. All that mining power doesn't exist.
Right.
All at once. That's why.
I mean, Bitcoin is literally the biggest computer in the world.
I saw this headline on Yahoo Finance today, and it was talking about the CEO of Qualcomm was saying that we're going to need to double the chip capacity in the next 10 years. And, that's including Bitcoin miners too, but still,
start buying
like,
AMD.
Like there's so much, demand. I don't know. Like we need to like buy some land next to that Taiwan semiconductor place in case they want to expand that place.
Someone already did that. Someone already did that. We might want to go 30 miles out. And buy right there. They'll get there.
Set up like a shop so all those people can live and work. And they can I don't know. But that's what the billionaires are doing. They're buying land. They're
buying up land.
Apparently
they're also building bunkers, but I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole.
Well,
yeah.
Wouldn't it be sweet to have a bunker though?
Yeah. I suppose. Yeah. It's always good.
If you could, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. It never hurts to be over prepared.
I'll say my idea on air. I want a nuclear powered yacht.
Oh wow!
So you can just run it on the yacht. Ocean's always the safest place to be. The yacht doesn't need to go into
self-sustainable. Have some farms, hydroponics.
Yeah.
A carrier, but a yacht. It needs to be prettier than a carrier.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. Okay. I got distracted. There was a noise outside from a little like radio that we got.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a cop.
Yeah, no. It's a little. I was trying to see if it pops back up because it's running out of battery. I don't know where.
You got so distracted. This is what happens to me. Here's one thing. He just goes,
This is a lot of fun. I was like, wow. I was afraid I wasn't going to have anything to talk about.
Yeah, let me go turn that off really quickly.
I didn't really prepare a whole lot.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
Cool.
Let's just wing it.
Yeah. Well, he goes to me in the morning. He goes, this guy wants to come on. I'm like, I've never met him. I don't know him. Have you met him? He goes, yeah, I've seen him here and here. I'm like, okay. Is he gonna have something to talk about? He's like, maybe. Have him on. We'll work with that.
Yeah, I mean, I talk about this stuff all the time. You know, like I mean, there's so much I could say, but you know, it's just Bitcoin, crypto, you know, finance.
Sorry about that, guys.
You know, so like I have a 401k. You know, working
Buy
a
ETF.
job. No, I mean I have a lot of Bitcoin miners, and I have options on them, and it's went crazy. Like, it's
Okay.
like, whoa. You know, but now everything's down because like the miners went down recently because Bitcoin's down.
Yeah.
And it's just so crazy how volatile that stuff is. It's like if it's going good, then everything's going good. If it's not, it's just completely.
Yeah, because mining Bitcoin is a business also. Like you need to make sure it's cost effective.
Do they make dividends on your thing?
They're not at a stage where like they're profitable enough to give out
Okay.
dividends. They're still in like growth mode. They're trying to buy more miners and increase their hash rate. Because
All right.
As you know, after the halving, you know, so their revenue is going to go down unless Bitcoin goes up in dollar terms.
Which
So,
it should.
Yeah.
Drastically.
It's crazy how like the whole like economics of Bitcoin, how it works.
Well, I mean, they have bills to pay.
Yeah, of course.
They have to pay for the electricity. And
They have to sell the
gas.
Bitcoin to do it.
I mean, unless you could get like free renewable energy, then everything's good.
Just like this is something I thought of, and there's actually a company I think that's working on this, but getting like something in the ocean that can capture the energy of the tidal waves.
Yeah.
And generate. And so like basically it's like a float thing on the bottom, and it just rocks and it generates electricity. Now if I had the capital to just go and invest that and do that, or if I could just like talk to some cool banker dudes that
will lend you the money.
Yeah, you know, and like give me some awesome engineers that could actually make it work. Because I mean I thought of this like 3 years ago, and then all of a sudden I heard about this other company. I was like, why didn't I just do something like that?
I think we talked about that.
Yeah, I think something similar.
I thought about a Uber type deal. Like, I mean, I guess they were already working on it, but I didn't hear about Uber back in 2010.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I was like, we should just like go get stuff for people. Anybody that wants something in the apartment complex, like they can, text us or whatever they want from the store. We'll just go get it for them and bring it back. Or Uber Eats.
I mean, when Uber first came out with that idea, they looked at the CEO and was like, "You're an idiot. This is stupid. Why would you go into some random person's car?" He goes, "This is the future." And now we have Uber where it is.
But I mean, it burned cash for years.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Just now,
big
like,
losses.
The last year or so,
They're
it's
going
turned profitable. After burning. I mean, so they're still not like, and that was just they break even on the quarter or a little profitable on the quarter. They're still way in the negative.
Yeah, I mean, stock wise, they're way up.
Yeah, their valuation as a
Their
company.
valuation has went up. Like maybe the founders and all the people that put the money in at first, but like I'm talking about the investors that put the money in. But it's that money has went up so much. So they're good there.
Yeah.
But as far as like the amount of money they poured into it,
Netflix has a docuseries on Uber's founder and all that. I watched it. There was a lot going on. I recommend if you like the whole Uber story, you should give it a little look.
Cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. I'm a little. What's up? I lost some steam. I guess I don't know what was going on with me.
So you mentioned Trump, and Trump said this yesterday too.
About the CBDC.
Yeah.
I
Oh, okay.
saw that on the way over here.
I didn't know.
Trump talking about like, if I'm president, like no CBDC, well, now he talks.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
He has his way. I can't do a Trump, but
That's fair.
But I was like, hey, it's just like I don't really rock with Ron DeSantis as some of this, but anyway, he did say the no CBDC. I like that. You know, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Doesn't that suck though? These people are like, you don't like them, and they say these things. You're like, damn it.
Well, it's just like, you know,
Why you?
Yeah, it's like, well,
Why couldn't someone else say
it's
that?
it's like Elizabeth Warren is like through this stamp and like, you know, Jamie Dimon, like, so like the Democrats, they don't want to mess up their money, so they don't want to cozy up too close to crypto.
Yeah.
You know, and so
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
you know, it's just crazy how, you know, that we have this two-party system.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan
There's
of the
good
two-party
ideas
system.
on both sides.
Absolutely.
There's stuff that needs to happen
From both sides.
Absolutely.
You know? But like we're talking about gender politics. It's like, why are we talking about where somebody goes to the bathroom, what clothes they wear? Why are we banning books?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Why are we talking about this instead of like this budget stuff?
Yeah, budget's a big one.
Military.
Fixing homeless
Are we
homeless
gonna
issues.
Go to war with Taiwan or over Taiwan with China? You know, are we
We'll
going
proxy
to
war that one too. Don't
Exactly.
worry about that. There'll be another proxy war. We'll pay someone to do that.
Yeah, we're gonna put more money and then send it out and then
you know,
just
and the stuff that's going on with
inefficiencies
Israel and Gaza
and
then
the Pentagon.
that is feeding the Yemeni, you know, the
And the Houthis war.
right, and then like the Saudi Arabia bombing them, and then Iran's, you know, shipping missiles over to the Houthis. It's just like
And Gaza. And Hamas.
And it's just it's wild.
It's all proxy wars. Yeah.
Yeah, so I listen to a lot of the history stuff too, and it's just it's wild. You know, one of the history things I listen to is like about, you know, early, you know, Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, and you know, we've been on.
They had different problems.
Well, yeah, they had different problems, but like we've been around for like millions of years, like 3 million years, and all these like old civilizations that had all this stuff figured out, and all this lost knowledge and stuff like that. And it's like, wow, like, you know, now, you know, we have computers in our pocket, we have all this stuff, but like.
We have Bitcoin.
We have
we got Bitcoin. It's saving technology.
Bitcoin.
People are like more sad, more like lonely, more depressed, and you know, and like more out of shape and stuff like that. Like than they were like, you know, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago. But then like the quality of people's lives are better. You know? So it's just like, but I like being alive now.
Who wouldn't? You're in the. Whoever says that this is not the greatest time to be alive, I'm like, go fight.
I mean,
go back when you have to be on a pirate ship.
Yeah.
Get scabies.
Yeah, get scurvy. It's
Bro,
scurvy.
Scabies.
I mean, it's snowing up north. Like my people in Tennessee, everybody's showing these snow pictures. I'm like, oh, like I like it to, you know, from
a distance.
Yeah.
I know, and also you have nice warm clothes.
Yeah.
Now you weren't back in the day. You were wearing just skin.
Yeah.
Just
and grass.
Whatever was there, like I gotta warm up.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And you're always cold. They were always hungry.
Yeah. It's nuts.
I mean, in terms of medicine, we're definitely like in the best time of all.
Would you want to be alive during the Renaissance?
Right. You say no, absolutely not.
And then your village just so your villagers just there having a sip of ale, and then some random asshole just waddles in and with an army of horses, and you're like, this is mine now.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I guess it's yours now.
Being
like, you know, working the field and not paying his toll or whatever.
being raided by Vikings doesn't seem fun. Like no.
Vikings on mushroom.
I really got into the Vikings. Too.
Vikings are wild.
Vikings are awesome. Like it was like, you know, like even like at the end of like the Viking age, they would go out and they were working as a private guard in the Byzantine Empire, and they were like with the Varangian Guard, and they were like kicking butt. You know, it's just like being like bodyguards. You know, like that's pretty cool. You know, and like in like the best city, you know, whatever, Constantinople.
They were warriors. Like they lived to fight.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Whoever has the most gold,
Yeah.
you know, give me my Dane guild and we'll go away. We'll just go back. Like sometimes they would come to like France and England and they would just give them a bunch of gold and then they would just go back home.
They're like, hey, we got what we came for.
The next year, like, give us the gold again. And I'm like, oh, we gave you all the gold last time. Like, give us more gold.
Yeah, I mean, there was also, it gets dirtier than that. Like they would take, pillage, rape, and take slaves.
But they're also nice.
Also,
you also have in Asia or whatever that was called back in the day, Genghis Khan.
Oh yeah,
affected the global, the
Copy.
carbon footprint of the world.
Yeah, he would just kill everybody.
He was just like, fuck it.
And take all their wives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like he said, it was one of the things he said, like, there's no feeling sweeter than like slaying your enemy and sleeping with their wives and daughters.
That's wild.
Like, whoa.
That was a wild boy.
Like, it's like metal.
That's
like, I mean,
brutal.
terrible.
That's brutal. That's brutal.
But like, that was the guy back then. Who was fucking with him?
Yeah, but like, we don't have that now, do we?
Isn't it nice?
Well, I mean, we still have slaves. Like, I
No, for sure. We have more slaves now than we did before.
Now, than we ever have.
Yeah.
And like, what? And all
Yeah,
this human
it's just not
trafficking
here.
Because it's human trafficking month in Miami.
Yeah, Miami's is
Oh,
one of the
yeah.
big ones.
Like, you know, sometimes you'll see like this chick and she, you know, she looks like she's a little strung out or something, and you'll see somebody and they're like, you know, kind of being a little forceful with her. You know,
No, I think like I've never seen any of that.
He would get in. He would get involved, and I would have to be behind him, getting involved.
Yeah.
Like you like try to send a message to somebody, like, "Are you okay?" You know.
No, yeah, no.
I've seen people and like ask them, but I mean they said they were okay. I mean, what them, you know.
There's only so much you can do.
Sometimes my alarms go off and then nothing's going on. I'm like, okay, so everyone's fine. Okay, good.
I've dealt with a lot of the problems. You
Yeah.
just slap people sometimes randomly at bar. Well, in the bathroom.
No, that was a whole misunderstanding thing.
That
It was a whole misunderstanding.
Thank God I wasn't there. I was like, I have to fight now.
Hey, again, sometimes you gotta step up. You gotta help your boy. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been there, done that. I was getting jumped, and you know, I was happy when my friend helped me out.
I let
One
him
of my other friends didn't. I was looking at him like,
Yo, what?
bro,
What
I thought
happened?
we were homies.
Yeah.
I would let him get jump a little bit first. I would let him get just. I'm like, you deserve it. Okay, that's enough. Let me get in now. Just a little beat up. I'm like, don't do it again, please.
Don't do it again. Learn. Don't avoid fights. I mean, I do try to take the pacifist way of life.
That's what the warrior does. The warrior, I mean, you know, you save that for if you really have to.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, I just don't like seeing people be taken advantage of. If I see something like that, like that's it. Like let's get back into crypto.
That's why we don't like Gary Gensler. He's taking advantage of us, not proving these things faster.
Oh,
It's always it's so funny on Twitter seeing like the Bitcoin people that are like, yeah, Gary, get him, Gary. it's an unregulated security, and then all the crypto people was like, Gary's a scam. He's just he's harming investors. And then whenever the hack came out or something the other day, it was like, oh, way to protect investors, Gary.
They're terrible.
The whole SEC.
They're dumb.
I mean, that it's just unfortunate that government is inefficient like that.
Not even that. They're protecting investors, but somehow, some way, meme coins are getting approved on centralized exchanges within the U.S. that you can buy and lose your ass on.
That's crazy.
And blink of an eye.
Yeah.
But then we have these other tokens that are not meme coins, or a little safer. Not safer. Everything's a risk.
Everything's a risk. Yeah.
But a better investment than, for example, Bonk that don't get approved on Coinbase. Like you can't buy Phantom on Coinbase, but you can buy Bonk on Coinbase.
It's
funny saying that out loud.
Bonk? Dog with hat.
Really, that's what it is.
That's another one.
What?
Dog with hat.
No way.
On Solana, I swear to God.
No, the one that's crazy for me is the rare pepes. Those are all over the place. Like there's stores that sell like plush pepes. I'm like, is this culture like that?
Well, that was a culture meme before it was a token.
I suppose.
So I can see that why someone would create it.
The first ones actually started on Bitcoin. The first NFTs. Like color token. I don't know what it was.
It was color tokens.
Yeah, something like that.
You're right.
The Pepes.
And then those died, and then
came back.
And
maybe.
I think it was expensive. Too expensive to do it or something.
Same as ETH. That's why no one wants that piece of shit either.
No,
Does anybody use ETH anymore? I mean, I know people.
Sadly,
but I never hear anybody talking about it.
Sadly, people do.
Yeah. I mean,
so I met
people talking about Solana a lot.
I met with one of our guests, LC, yesterday, and she was talking at the event, and she was talking about like how most people on ETH are like devs, like the vibe is like dev community versus Solana. It's like a gaming community. It's like these are gamers. Like these people want to like gamify everything and make it fun and like. And I was like, okay, so people who are on on ETH are mostly like trying to like program stuff, very like boring, not exciting stuff.
I would have argued that to the
maybe. And then there's like another chain. They're like, oh, these people are very like research focused. Like, I was like, okay, I thought there was merit to it. I was like, okay, this seems interesting.
ETH punishes you
for trading,
for breathing.
Yeah, I mean, it's expensive to use it.
Gas fees, the whole gas thing.
And everyone goes, it's because there's high demand on the chain. And you think you should be paying $30 to withdraw $1?
It doesn't make sense. I mean, like, if we like
ultrasound money,
yeah. It's so like the thing is when we talk about like cryptocurrencies or like blockchain, there's like the trilemma. It's like, what do you want to give up? Security, scalability,
transaction speed,
and speed. Yeah, no, it's not speed. Decentralization.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So then, like, which one are you willing to give up? And Bitcoin is just slow in transactions, 7 transactions per second, versus Solana, which has an extremely high throughput. Yeah, it might not be as decentralized, so there's always
that's
dropbacks.
I was thinking about.
That's
when do I say this? Because it's like
no, you're good. We agree.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
decentralized. It's
Not
missing
decentralized. Yeah,
That. It needs more of that.
It's like it's quick. You can do all that gamified, but like, you can do that because like. I mean, how many people are running nodes?
100%.
Do you know anybody who runs a Solana node?
I think
run a Bitcoin node.
Yeah, I run a Bitcoin node. I don't run a
I think
Solana
it's
node.
not
I
many
know
nodes.
several people that run Bitcoin nodes, and I could if I just did it.
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's not hard.
It's literally not hard. If anything, run 2 nodes, different locations in case something happens. Okay, yeah. So we were talking about Nostr and how Apple wants to get rid of like any Nostr clients off their app store, like Damus.
For the zaps.
For the zaps, exactly, because it's not compliant with Apple's policies in app store policies.
I don't know
Where
if people can hear me rolling my eyes.
yeah, so
You can't get that 30%.
yeah, Apple doesn't get their cut whenever you send a zap on Nostr, so they're like, this is not with it, and they want it off.
It's so funny. It's like, do you guys not get it? Like no middleman. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the whole deal. Like, and how much transaction is going on Damus anyway?
Not a lot, but like,
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
yeah.
Their issue isn't now that's not a lot. The issue is when it is a lot and they can't get their cut then. In terms of
Forward
them.
thinkers. At least they believe in Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah, it's they also like if they soften up on Nostr clients now, then who's to say other people won't make their own business model using
Very simple example would be X, Twitter. If Elon were to switch it over to it being on blockchain,
Mhm.
he would be able to go around their 30% cut.
That doesn't have to go through the app store.
But he charges more for Apple people.
Yeah, because they take a 30% cut.
Yeah, out of that fee or whatever.
Mhm.
Now imagine you're paying in Doge and you don't have to take that 30% cut no more, and it just goes directly to either him or to the consumer. The price goes down,
Mhm.
whatever percentage.
Yeah, Apple makes a killing off their app store. Makes an absolute killing.
They make a lot on services too.
Yeah.
Like if Uber, like all their transactions are going on through there, Apple gets a cut for those transactions too.
Whoa, really?
hmm
Yeah. All services.
All services, everything.
Wow. I know
Yeah.
my app, it's the same thing. I have to give up 30% if somebody, buys something through Apple.
I know if you sign up for Spotify online, like through Spotify.com, it comes out cheaper than if you sign up for Spotify through their website, through the App Store.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Good hack.
hmm
Same thing happened with Netflix. If you apply through Netflix online, you'll go around that 30%. So you'll be paying Netflix directly. And I think the price was the same. However, if you sign in through Apple on Netflix, they got that 30% cut.
We love a hack.
Yeah, of course. Or just getting rid of middlemen as much as possible, making things as efficient.
I mean, I like Apple. I mean, I like what they've done, all that kind of stuff. But they're just too closed down for me. Like I had the iPod and all that kind of stuff, and then once they was too restrictive with iTunes and wanted to charge me money for the stuff, and I couldn't download my own songs, and I couldn't put certain things on it. Like, I don't know. I was like, let me see what Samsung's talking about, and I never look back. I don't care what my color my bubble is or whatever. I don't care.
It's other people's problems.
I like both phones for different reasons. I had the same. I had a Note
It's a
10.
Galaxy S21 Ultra.
I had
It's old now.
Yeah, I had the 10 Plus when it came out brand new.
Oh wow, yeah, I had that one too.
And I was like, oh, this is nice. It's different. I liked it. And then the 14 Pro came out. I'm like, let me try it. I'm like, oh, I like it too.
I'm thinking about getting the 15 or
Yeah.
whatever it is, just for the camera, just because the camera is just out of the box, not having to mess with them. They're better for like content and stuff like that.
To me, the main difference between two is just it's so much easier to use. It's so much more streamlined on an iPhone versus an Android. There's more things you can fuck around with, but that's the fun part too.
Yeah, that's kind of like the draw. Like you feel like you're doing something, but you're not. You don't really know a whole lot, but you can adjust so many things.
Yeah.
And make it your own.
And because of that, an iPhone just feels smoother than a Galaxy for the most part on most things, not everything, or things that it just is better. Different
because of its simplicity.
Yeah, because it's all streamlined. It's all within house. You can't fuck around with it. It can never get laggy.
Yeah.
But at least in terms of it doesn't feel ever cluttered, so it always runs pretty smooth.
Okay.
Whereas an Android, over time, the more you use it, it can get laggier or it feels slower. Not always, but my experience.
Yeah, I just loaded up. I have so many apps on my phone. It's ridiculous.
There's some people that are like diehard like on their phones. They're like, oh, I will never switch from iPhone or I'll never switch from Samsung. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a hill. That's a hill.
That's what I was thinking. It's a hill to die on.
That's a hill.
Not a hill worth dying on.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's about best product, right? Best product. Just see what's up.
I just don't want to get sucked in. Like, that's the biggest thing that's holding me back from getting the iPhone. I don't want to get sucked into the ecosystem.
The ecosystem is the best part.
Now I got to go into the, exactly. And now I got to get a new tablet. And I got to get I got to get iTunes. I have to switch off now. I got to get the Apple TV.
Well, I keep Spotify. I don't use iTunes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I can't stand iTunes, man.
I only use Spotify because of Rogan is on Spotify.
Okay.
And I couldn't get anywhere else, so I'm like, why have iTunes if I have another music player?
Well, now that everything is streaming, okay, that makes sense.
But the Apple TV part, that's true.
But they've got some good shows,
I meant the actual the device.
Oh.
Because I
gotta get the TV, bro.
Because what I do now is I mirror my computer onto my TV through it, and I can use that as a monitor.
Okay.
While I also work on my computer.
Yeah, but you could do that with
You can do that with Samsung.
With any. You could connect your computer.
You need a Chromecast for it. It doesn't just connect to any regular TV.
It needs
really?
It needs to be some type of smart enabled TV.
Yeah, I mean, I can cast stuff from my phone to my TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can do
it's actually really useful sometimes.
Yeah.
It comes in clutch. Doing Zoom conferences, you just set up your computer right in front of you, but then you have a big TV as the monitor. It's cool.
So let's talk about morning routine for a second.
Okay.
You guys have one?
No.
I
wake up and get ready.
I struggle with it.
Yeah.
I have one, but I don't stick to it. So no.
I'm honest. I don't do that. Get up, get ready.
Yeah, I try to wake up early, 6 a.m. Hit the gym, 7 o'clock. Take a cold shower when I get back from the gym.
Oh shit.
And then eat some eggs.
Cool, man. No, I don't. I'm working on getting up earlier.
Yeah, no, but I struggle.
I'm also trying to do
with
that.
my routine earlier. I would like to be done by 10 a.m., but that would require me getting up at 6, 5.
Yeah, no, 5 is crazy.
You have to be in bed.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's my thing. It's because I'm getting my 8 hours.
Yeah, you need to be in bed by 10.
But I'm not gonna just be one of these dudes I get up at 3 a.m. and I don't care. I eat glass. Whatever. I'm not doing that.
The glass one's you. That one's new to me. I know people eat glass like that. Yeah. Salute to you. You're a different breed.
Eating glass and snorting bullet powder. Some guys are all hardcore about it and stuff like that, talking with business people. I watch a lot of business stuff too.
They're kind of wild. And do you believe it, bro? I heard those people too. I heard a guy who does that. He goes, I wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
He goes, what time you go to bed? At 12. I'm like, you do not wake up at 3 a.m.
That doesn't work.
Yeah, that's you're gonna burn out.
What are you sleeping?
My business coach wakes up at 3 a.m. but he goes to bed at 8. 7, 8 o'clock.
That's crazy.
But he gets up in the morning, does his stuff, his whole routine. And then, film, does gym, all that kind of stuff, does his work, and then, in the night.
Yeah, for me, the thing is I don't get 8 hours. I get 6 to 7. I go to sleep 10, 11, and wake up at 5 o'clock something.
See, I go to sleep at 12, wake up at 6.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep that up. I mean, I could do it for a little bit, and slam some caffeine or whatever. But, I feel terrible. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I've never gone 8 hours of sleep in my life. Yeah, for the most part.
So there's this thing, it's called sleep hygiene. So you get the room 65 degrees, get you a comfortable pillow. Don't use your bed for anything besides
sleep.
Make a hub and sleep. You don't want to watch TV in your bed. You don't want to hang out in the middle of the day. And you don't want to have any caffeine. Really within 8 hours before you go to bed, because caffeine has a 6-hour half-life. So if you take 200 milligrams, 6 hours later you still got 100 milligrams in your bed.
I guess I'm not sleeping tonight.
I can sleep like a baby after having a shot of coffee. Right
Yeah, but it affects.
You
It
don't get to
affects.
those deeper levels of sleep. You know, that's
When
what
I-
they say anyway.
One thing I know
I'm
for-
not arguing that. You're probably right. The thing is, when I sleep, I close my eyes. They're open. It goes black after that. It's like I'm dead.
It's like a time warp.
It's like a time
It's
warp.
like, whoa, time machine.
You're like, what time is it?
It's like
5 in the morning. Okay.
like skipping time, waiting in Skyrim.
Yeah.
It's like okay.
Since my last meal is at the end of the day, I'm always like drinking a bunch of water like towards the end of the day, and so like I had to get up and pee like 2 or 3 times. So if I get up and I wake up in the morning and I didn't go pee twice during the night or 3 times during the night, I'm like, man, I slept so good.
You're like, damn, that's a good night.
Yeah. But like I feel dehydrated if I don't drink, you know. Like if I get up and I pee and it's like dark yellow, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die.
So I heard that you shouldn't be drinking water. I think it's like more than 2 hours before you go to sleep.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to have like a
read
2
that
hour
too.
gap.
And I tried it. I was like set an alarm, but it's like I feel so dehydrated.
You feel thirsty. You're like,
Oh,
yeah,
but
I want some water.
Like people like that drink more water. Like I've heard
Mhm.
like you feel more thirsty if you don't drink more.
Because your body's used to getting more water.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I can tell. You know, it's like I feel weird.
Water's good. It's great. Like like I drink 4 cups of water in the morning before it's 8 o'clock.
Oh wow.
Typically, yeah. Since I work out in the morning, I'm just starting drinking water. I drink like 4 cups like by then.
That's cool though. I mean, I get up and I do like I do like this gratitude. I do affirmation. You know, it's just 3. You know, it's just real quick. Listen to something like kind of like motivational.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talk to my partner. Just ask her
Yeah,
about
of
the day, what
course.
she's got planned or
Super
whatever.
important.
You know, just like to keep relationships good and stuff like that. And then I'll do like a 5 minutes of meditation, thinking about it's meditation, but it's more like visualization of like what I'm going to accomplish for the day, how I'm going to do it.
Just mindfulness, right?
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, here's my plan. This is what I'm going to get done today. This is how I'm going to do it. And then before you know it, 5 minutes is up. I do, I've got, I'm taking a business course. I do a little bit of that. Do some like work as far as posting to my social medias. I got a bunch of those, reaching out to clients and, checking in on people and all that kind of stuff. And then after that, I can go to the gym. But I would love to do what you're talking about. Get up, have, caffeine, coffee, whatever, and then go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But I work out pretty hard. So like, if I'll like overexert myself sometimes at the gym because I'm feeling really good and I have all this energy, and then like after that I'm like dragging.
That's why you hit the cold shower.
That's
That's literally the only reason why I do it. Because if not, I'm just gonna be like, oh.
I heard that
down.
it increases your dopamine by 230%.
I did it today because I haven't done it in a minute, and I did it today, and I was like, I stepped out, and I was like, I'm feeling great, awesome. Like
So-
it sucks. Like I look at the shower, I'm like, why?
Do you start it cold?
Yeah, I started cold.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
I
always
feel
like
like
to ease into
I
it.
feel like it doesn't work that way. I feel like if you just ease into it, it's not the same. It's just not the same. You need to go in.
That's hard.
I'm going to burst your bubble.
Yeah.
Apparently, you shouldn't do cold shower after working out.
Yeah, it's not good for like.
It's not good for muscle growth.
Yeah.
It blunts that like there's something about inflammation that
Mhm.
brings all that stuff in there.
Oxygen and
it causes some inflammation. It's a little achy and stuff, but there's some of all that stuff that rushes in.
Mhm.
There's some good stuff in there too.
Mhm.
And like when you blunt that effect, I hurt my shoulder, and then I started like I had the doctor gave me pain pills, like some like Percocets, and he gave me some
Muscle relaxers.
he gave me a bunch of ibuprofen and muscle relaxers, but the muscle relaxers and the Percocet I took, because I'm like, okay, this has got oxycodone in here and some Tylenol, and then this one is ibuprofen, so NSAIDs. So I started looking at all these papers on NSAIDs, and apparently whenever they looked at these rat models and these studies, like the tensile strength of the tendons and the ligaments and stuff that grew back whenever something was broke or sprained, it didn't grow back as strong.
Okay.
And so like they was able to like re-injure it and stuff like that or whatever easier later. And I was like, oh man, I messed up my shoulder, and I was really bummed about it. So I just but after I read that and I learned about that, I just toughed it out really. I mean, I used whatever pain pills I had, but I didn't want to like get addicted to those, so I didn't ask them for any more. I just like toughed it out for the rest of it, and then started using it as much as I could. Like they was like, oh, don't you do whatever, but I started moving it as much as I could.
Mobility is important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Maybe not necessarily like weight training for it, but mobility. If you could do any mobility
yeah,
stuff.
like if you can't move this one, moving all of your other limbs,
Mhm.
it gets like they've done studies to where like if you work out this arm, the other arm gets a little bit or it doesn't lose as much strength versus if you don't do anything. It's weird.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Say
There's a science behind it. Why?
say wait. So if you curling on one arm and you don't curl on the other,
Mhm.
the other You said
loses
what?
less muscle.
Yeah, like it'll atrophy less than
Interesting.
if you had done nothing.
Mhm.
You know, and another thing too, like if you was to be bedridden, you know, for however many weeks, you'll lose a lot of muscle. But if you just walk around and move, you know, have that base level of activity, you'll spare a lot more muscle, and it doesn't start to atrophy for like 3 weeks after you've trained. Like you'll hear people like, oh, a week out of the gym, they can't pick up a dumbbell or their barbell or whatever, but you actually don't lose muscle. It takes a while for that to actually break down. And you think about, you know, biologically and evolution, it makes sense. You know, like why would your body just immediately break down? Because you're not, you know, eating enough or stuff like that. When you think about fasting, like, oh, you're not going to get immediately weaker because you're fasting. You're not going to just lose all your energy because you're fasting. You know, like, what do you got to go chase this mammoth or whatever it is you're chasing? I was just thinking mammoth.
No, you're good. They're trying to bring those back, so it makes sense to me.
Yeah, man. I just watched Jurassic Park the other day. I loved it. The latest one where he's teaching the raptors. I was like, man, that'd be pretty sweet.
I wouldn't want that job.
Raptors are just terrifying.
Man, oh yes, very scary. I mean, I don't even know if I would go. I just think it'd be cool to like.
No, I'm cool. That's white people stuff. You can stay over there.
I would like watch like YouTubers go.
Yeah, you guys go.
I'm scared.
I'm okay. I've seen too many bad movies. I know how this movie ends.
Yeah, exactly.
We're good. And the day happens, you'll be like, I told you so.
I don't know, but like the herbivores are fine.
I'm cool. Put them in a different island.
The herbivores.
Yeah. That would
Separate them.
Cool.
Yeah, as long as they're not gonna eat me, I got no problem with it. Mammoths would be cool though.
What was your favorite dinosaur?
Oof, I don't know.
I don't have a dinosaur.
I don't know dinosaurs like that, man.
Oh really? You think I'm in like 8th grade or whatever, 4th grade?
It's like, I don't know dinosaurs.
I saw the Meg.
The Meg?
The movie.
Uh huh.
I like those sharks.
Pterodactyls, I think, are cool.
That
That
shark one.
The shark one.
Megalodons.
Megalodon.
So apparently sharks are older than trees, and I was like, that's insane.
Crocodiles are pretty old too.
Yeah, like sharks evolved before trees. Like trees evolved.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Cite your sources.
Yeah. I could look for
You're
it.
making shit up right now. Cite your sources.
Yeah, that's a cool.
Yeah. I don't know.
Factoid.
That was yeah, right? Factoid thing. I don't know, but like I remember going to in 8th grade, we did like a little field trip to Animal Kingdom, and every time I saw an animal, because I was with some random teacher that I didn't know and like a group of kids, I was like, every time I saw an animal, for some reason I had a fact about it. I was like, yo, hippo milk is pink and they sweat red. And then the guy's like, what? I was like, yeah, search it.
He's really good at that. He has random facts in his brain.
and then another one is like, when we saw giraffes, I was like, it's crazy how they have the same amount of like neck bones that we do. And he's like,
oh yeah.
He's like, they have the same amount? I was like, the same amount? Man.
Yeah, they're huge.
I was like,
and the giraffe, whenever a giraffe baby is born, it drops 6 feet to the ground. Something random I read. Like in 6th grade.
Giraffes are pretty like.
When you think about it, it's like, oh yeah,
makes sense.
You know, like,
but they don't like.
That's a rude way to get into the. Welcome to Earth.
Yo, animals are not kind.
Yeah, I mean.
I saw a video of what was it? It was a buffalo or one of these antler ones.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a reindeer.
Antelope?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember. It was one of those with an antler. It still had another one of its same breed head attached because it wanted to fight.
Whoa! Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You see what I'm saying? You got me?
Yeah.
Like they fought, and it still had the other head attached to its antler.
Ain't nobody messing with him.
Yeah.
That's
There's pages all over the internet where it's like nature is brutal, nature is wild, and you could see like some gruesome. I saw a fight between an elephant and a rhino. I was like, rhino's got this.
Did it got it?
Psych, dog. The elephant wrecked the rhino.
Wow.
I was like, oh, rhino's got a big tusk, like big horn right in the middle. Elephant's got two tiny ones on the side. Like, rhino's got this. Like, rhino's just gonna go boom. Nah, elephant turned the rhino and stuck one of his tusks inside the thing. The rhino started dipping.
Oh wow.
He was like, nah, I'm out. I was like, why? I was like, I did not expect that. So Smithsonian. Fun fact: sharks are older than trees.
Well, snap.
Okay. He had the receipts.
Yeah, there's a whole article on
Whoever
it.
says they want to preserve animals, I'm like, let them be. They will preserve each other fine.
Yeah, let me. It's
All
very
right.
short. The earliest species that we could classify as a tree, the now extinct Cleopatra lived around 350 million years ago, but sharks been around for 400 million years. So
only got 50 on them.
50 million years.
Only got 50.
50 million, yeah, that's just such a long time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's only 50 if you think about it. Those
Like,
zoom
I'm thinking like, oh, we've been here for so long, 3 million. This
No.
is like a blink.
But like,
as far
there's
as-
another one that's like Cleopatra supposedly lived closer to the dinosaurs than she did to like
to modern youth.
who's this guy? Then Christopher Columbus
Is
was.
that what it is?
Yeah. Well, I mean, to us too, it's the same thing. But like,
That's not too far from us.
yeah, because that's not the
Columbus.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like, what the heck? Time for human history, and then that's all documented because there's undocumented human history also.
A lot, yeah.
Like the Neanderthals that were like caves and like
Yeah.
that, and even then that was documented. But there's
That's
stuff.
even further because they had that. I think they have pyramids 4,000 years ago,
Mhm.
but they're saying the pyramids could be older than that, like closer to 12,000 years.
12,000, yeah.
Randall Carlson talks about it.
It's human.
One last like weird animal fact. I've
Alright.
heard that there was like whales are like related to this some type of like land mammal that may be related to bears, and like that's what whales are now. Like I saw like this picture of like this weird bear dog looking thing, and then like I guess it got in the water somehow.
It went back in the water.
Went back in. Yeah, like
That's kind of cool.
The whole evolution thing is
it's wild.
it's so insane. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know.
I
It's
just
just
had to get that out.
yeah,
Honestly,
I need to get that out of my head. Like I saw this and I didn't want to say it.
yeah. No, it's. I think nature is just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I was just reading that. Seeing what this guy was saying.
What do you guys got up there?
It's just,
I just had it
altcoin
open.
people-
Oh,
Altcoin people just talking about SEC Gensler. We got to get him out of here. He's a threat.
Warren's mad at Gary for approving the ETF. He's like, that's unlawful.
She needs to stop, really, because she came in 2008, 2009, talking about the banks. She was like, hey, we got to stop the banks or whatever. And then now you seen on that last panel or whatever it was, she all cozying up with the banks. Like she had
They're
like
homie.
5 or 6 bank
Mm-hmm.
people like saying, yes, you agree with this, with what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah,
uh-huh.
yes, we
you
do.
Yeah, because-
yeah, you do.
Yes, you do. And it's
Keep
like,
on printing.
Are you kidding me? Like, you see how much they contributed to her last campaign,
Mhm.
and it's like she completely, she sold out. Like,
I mean, the thing is, banks also
Wall Street.
banks don't want crypto either because they're like, that's
get
less
rid of them.
less
They are
business
the
for them.
man.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're like what is called rent seekers. Like that.
What?
Rent seekers.
Rent seekers.
Like,
Okay.
Whenever you're just something has to happen, so they that's their business, that's their service. It's
Okay.
like, we're going to facilitate this. We're taking a few basis points off the top,
Mhm.
or maybe a few percent.
Yeah. No, and it's crazy how Jamie Dimon says, "Oh, the only use case for Bitcoin is criminal activity."
Criminal activity, money laundering.
When all the criminal activity that he's like Chase has
Oh,
been,
I have a post for that.
Right.
Chase has
All
been
the-
charged with human
How many
trafficking,
fees?
drug
50,
trafficking.
I got you.
58 million or whatever. How much in fees?
JP Morgan hit with 200 million in fines for letting employees use WhatsApp to evade regulators. Second one, JP Morgan Chase & Co. agrees to pay $920 million in connection with schemes to defraud precious metals and U.S. Treasury markets.
Wow.
Defraud.
JP Morgan to pay $75 million for a role in Epstein's sex trafficking operation. We're flagged now. God dang it.
They know.
They know. France fines U.S. bank J.P. Morgan $29.6 million in tax fraud settlement. Thanks, Jamie Dimon, because you're so clean.
Wow, that's a few billion. Right there.
You didn't even mention like
That's this is just the four that
That's
are
a
on
couple.
this tweet.
That's a couple. Yeah, they got caught with like traffic, some containers filled with cocaine.
Okay, that's not including that one that happened
Yeah,
like
2 or 3 years ago. I was like, how is no one talking about this when that happened? I was like,
Well, because they put the money where
yeah,
They invest right.
they shut it up.
Yeah, exactly. They butter the bread.
They
buttered
gotta
it up.
invest.
They buttered
Put the
the
money
bread.
right
I
people's
like that
pocket,
city.
okay?
Next time you need a story, we're not going to talk to you, or we're not going to, we're going to, your parent company is not going to get the loan. They're not going to get extended. They put pressure on people.
Also, that's just J.P. Morgan, not
Yeah, not
Wells
including.
Fargo,
Uh-huh.
not Bank of America, not the other ones who have the same amount of lawsuits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the same amount of bullshit.
Well, they all do it.
Bank of America doesn't want to provide the ETF.
Oh no.
No, and Vanguard doesn't either.
Yeah, I saw that Vanguard. I was very disappointed.
Bro, I saw a bunch of tweets that people are saying that a lot of people are just calling up their Vanguards. Hey, can we get it? No, I want to
Okay,
get out.
move my money.
Yeah.
move my money.
Luckily, my 401k is already with Fidelity.
So you're like products already there.
I mean, my RA, I had an RA that was with Fidelity. I'm like, I'm selling my Amazon stock, buying ETF, already in there.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
Get that tax
Get
incentive.
the tax incentive.
Yeah.
Same plan.
Whatever,
401k.
do whatever you gotta do to not pay extremely large amounts of taxes.
I mean,
I don't know. I kind of think it may be advantageous though to just like go ahead and sell whatever's in the 401k and then put it in an IRA.
I don't know what the difference is between 401k and IRA.
in
Like
401k, you don't pay taxes going into it, but in an IRA you pay taxes now at whatever your current tax rate is, and then whenever you pull it out, you don't have to pay taxes again. 'Cause you already paid
no capital gains tax.
Okay, yeah.
there's a way to set that up though, because there's one that's pre-tax and post-tax. You can
For
choose.
the 401k.
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a tax expert, so.
No, I'm not.
And I don't have
just know that you can select. And the only difference is if you do it post-tax.
Or like a Roth 401k or something.
Yeah. Because mine's let me pick. Like, if you want to get taxed now, you don't have to pay
But it
later.
helps you in regards to like your taxable income now. So like,
Yes.
if you're thinking that you're going to earn less money later when you're older, then it's more advantageous to go ahead and pay the taxes later whenever you're in a lower tax bracket. But if you're in a higher earner, you know, somebody that's making six figures, it's better if you can put $20,000 into a 401k so that it lowers your tax bracket.
Also, you don't have to sell it either. You can just take a loan out against it.
If you make enough gains, it's definitely worth doing.
It's Bitcoin. I hope it makes enough gains. I don't have to pull out anything.
You're like, hopefully the
Hopefully
the
it's $1
end
million by the time
the end goal is that the price goes up so much that you don't need to sell it.
And then you just buy real Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's the move. Take out a loan on your stock or your
My Bitcoin ETF and buy more Bitcoin. That's what the bank could do now with the ETF.
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. He mentioned something about like they're doing like that with the gold. I was like, you mean like fixing the price or like, you know, holding the price within a certain level, you know, with all the like the paper gold and stuff like that. Like that's a risk now because you have all these, you know, the futures and now the ETF and now all this big money that can come in and play all these the opposite side options, all that kind of stuff to kind of stabilize the price and hold it down. You know, so like what if they do it for like, you know, 8 years or 10 years, like through 2 cycles, and it breaks that narrative of like, you know, the pump after the halving, and like people get disinterested, and then after that they let it go, and then like, oh, now we have the Bitcoin. Suckers.
I told him, I'm like, that could happen. As not a possibility. Difficult to happen for now at least, because they don't have enough money to sway the market.
Yes, that's true.
Until they don't have enough money to sway the market.
Who don't have enough money? All the banks?
Institutions. Yeah.
Institutions?
In the ETF itself.
Oh,
they don't have it.
Yeah.
They don't have as a collective enough to sway it yet.
Yeah.
And currently, whatever crypto is a $1.5 trillion market in total. They still haven't pumped it really we still have control. The people still have control for now, and depending on how long it goes, we can have it longer.
It's still like such a drop in a bucket. It's 900 trillion something dollars of investable assets, and we're like talking about 1.5 trillion.
Yeah,
it's nothing.
Yeah,
so like,
it's super small.
Like in 2021 or 2022, I got kind of scared. I mean, because I was like, oh man, like what if it just everything goes to zero? Because you know, what if they just knock it out, or they just come up with some kind of regulation? But then whenever I seen all the miners coming to the U.S. and you know the favorable stuff, and like the SEC talking the way they was talking, I was like, wow, this is cool. You know, this is encouraging at least.
That's our current market cap.
I don't know. I just
1.5 T.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
And if you go here,
total crypto.
That's total crypto. That's everything. And we go here. This is peak market cap.
Almost 3.
This market is set to go to almost 4.5 to 5 in total.
What's the top frame?
Top of the range is
the time frame.
Total. That would be peak price.
Oh, and how long?
Halvening.
Oh,
After halvening, that would be peak price in halvening.
Maybe
April.
October 20. It's from halvening cycle. It's set to be from the time frame. It's like we have another 600 days before peak, essentially.
Okay.
Give or take. So,
Give or take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 600 something days. So it puts us October 2025.
Yeah, following
because the market cycle is typically 1,000 some days. Bear cycle is relatively similar, so that's what the numbers give more or less.
Man, that'd be crazy. I really don't even think about it like that because it's like I don't want to start thinking about stuff. I don't want to start counting things.
It's not worth it. Yeah. And you start like stressing out.
For you? I'll give you numbers. Right? What do you want me to count for you?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't even like.
Nah.
Like Kathy Wood is enough for me. I hear Kathy Wood talk sometimes. I'm like,
I was like, how much? Man, maybe I need to get 2 more. Maybe I need 2 of those.
I gotta get another job, bro.
Babe, we might need to move out.
Yeah.
I'm selling the car and the house. Call your friends. We're in need of roommates. No more dinners.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's like I haven't stacked hard enough.
It's always the sentiment. It's like, damn, I didn't do enough.
Yeah, it's like
Didn't do enough.
you know, you're not a real Bitcoiner until you sold all the shares.
It's crazy. Like, I had a conversation with some guy who was really big into like the whole like Ethereum DeFi, and he was like, sell everything, like live in your car. I was like, take out loans. I was like, take out loans. You're like, you can't be telling people this stuff. Like, people are gonna take out loans, man. And if that coin that they're investing in is like tanks, like that's on you, man. You just cost them their life. He's like, oh, that's on them. I was like,
or the bridge collapses, or there's a hack, or
yeah.
something.
I was like, I was like, I understand what you're saying. I was like, the potential like raise in value is insane. I get it, but like, just be careful when you say stuff like that, because someone's gonna take you very serious and like go deep on the deep end, not knowing what they're gonna do. Like, because he was very well informed. Like, this guy's writing papers for like companies, like giving them whole reports and stuff.
Oh wow.
But his like action plan that he would tell to people was very dumbed down. Like, take out loans, just go all in. I was like, okay, you have to understand like where you're coming from, like the knowledge base that you have versus what the people you're talking to, like they're not gonna be at the same understanding. They're not gonna understand the risk like you understand it.
Trading and investing, it's a very emotional thing.
Mm.
Like, you have to know what you own.
You have to take emotion out of it too.
Well, I mean, we're human, you know, and like, you're gonna feel that when you see that 80% drop and you bought in at 69 and then now it's at 17. You're like,
oh yeah,
my whole life up.
yeah.
Like, I'm never gonna ever financially recover.
It hurts. So the biggest mistake that I think I've done so far was having Bitcoin on Celsius, and when that happened, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah,
that hurt.
I had some on Voyager, but right before, like, we were at Bitcoin brunch and Prim was talking about where's the yield coming from, Jay? You are the yield.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh shit, what if he's right? You know, and I couldn't sleep, man. I was like, I moved my Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
Right on time.
Yeah, like
Nice,
right after
nice.
that, like they went down. I had some cash still on there, but I sold. I had like, you know, a few grand of USDC, like earning 9% interest because I was a genius.
Yeah.
And then I I sold it into USD, and I was able to get that back a few months later. And I bought one. What was that stable coin, that USDT? I had one of those, or no, Luna. I had one Luna.
Oh, that one
Luna
tanked. Yeah.
doubled, and then I sold half of the Luna, and then I put it in the USDT so I can earn 20% interest. You know, because again, I'm a genius, and it all went to zero.
Yeah.
It's worth like 14 cents or something.
Yeah, it's not.
Or less than that, probably.
So you see that what he was saying is accurate, but again, that's more than the companies not disclosing what they were doing.
Yeah, I mean, those companies shouldn't have been lending it out to people with no collateral.
Yeah,
So they could
Absolutely
go
not.
into this, like, because they didn't know that what they were trading. They thought they were the Three Arrows Capital.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
crazy.
my issue on it. Like, yes, you're right. Where's the yield coming from? Also, they were also misusing the funds that people were trusting with them.
And then you have FTX, and they weren't even selling people real Bitcoin. They were just like putting numbers, account,
And just moving it to that was even worse than the other.
That's
one.
just straight up fraud.
Yeah, it's just
to
straight
the
up fraud. Like,
Yeah.
they didn't even sell it, and like people, the boomers, like, I tell them I'm into Bitcoin, like, oh, watch out, the FTX thing. And, you gotta
you have to explain it.
that
Like,
was fraud.
the
That
part
was not
the
Bitcoin.
part that's crazy to me is that it's not even the boomers. It's people our age. Like, I had a conversation with some
That too,
friends
yeah.
and they're like tech savvy people, and I'm like, bro,
Two different things.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, Bitcoin got hacked. I'm like, Bitcoin did not get hacked. They said that to me. I'm like,
Oh, it's dead, bro. It's like
Yeah.
17,000. I was like, it's at 17,000. Like, it was just at 69.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's 4,000 before the pandemic, right?
Mhm.
Like, yeah, but it's dead, bro. I'm like,
yeah,
I tried to tell you.
Yeah, like, I
you're
just
gonna
don't
look back
understand
in a
it.
couple of years, like, yo, that dude, with the dreadlocks and the skates, like, was telling me.
it's like I don't understand it. I guess there's always just skepticism to this thing. It's
also,
just-
that thing he was talking about, it's human emotion. it's hard to buy when it's down 80%, 90%, and you look at that and you go, I have to buy this now. Now's when I need to be buying, not here when it's 1,000, whatever percentage.
When everyone's talking about
now,
it.
yeah, I don't need to buy when it's gone and no one wants to talk about it.
Fear and greed index.
Apple though, I mean, Apple didn't go down 80%, but it went down like 30%. Amazon and Google,
Facebook,
Facebook, a good, Facebook. Oh man, Facebook, and Netflix, bro. Those were two.
Mark lost I don't know how many, like.
But he performed he was one of the best performing stocks of 2023 after mid-year.
Yeah. I mean that and Netflix did really well. I mean,
too.
There for a little while because people thought Netflix was dead, and then they come back with a subscription based or like an ad based tier, and people loved it because I can't just quit Netflix, and people with Google. They're they're limiting the amount of free cloud stuff like that they're giving to students now. I saw this article, and it's like, of course, like, what are you going to do? Like, you're addicted. You're in Google now. Like,
yeah.
I had to pay for more Google storage.
Right, exactly.
I had to pay the $1.
I've been paying like $2 or $3 for a long time because I just can't bring myself to delete.
I mean, but it's cloud. That's cloud. But that's gonna happen anyways.
And I also pay for Apple storage $1.
Yeah.
To have
but that's gonna happen. My only issue with all that is that it's coming from centralized companies. Like, if we're
well-run companies,
they're well-run. I understand that, but like, I just feel like I don't know what. So there's no transparency there.
More reason for you to get on Nostr.
Yeah, no, for sure. Nostr is definitely one of
the decentralized. Like, there's this other app,
Filecoin.
Yeah, IPFS.
Or IPFS. Yeah. Filecoin. Is that what you said? Yeah. That's cool. That's a cool use case. Whatever.
IPFS.
File. Helium's a cool token too.
IPFS.
I think it's Internet File Storage. IFSP. What? Oh, wait, what was it?
Interplanetary File System.
Yeah, that sounds like it's accurate. I forgot because it's just so many like what's it called? What are those acronyms for everything? I was like, damn, it's so many. It's hard to keep track of them all. But yeah, Filecoin is just like one of those like use cases for a blockchain to me that makes sense. You have extra storage space, sell the storage space. Someone with a unique encrypted wallet can access that. They'll pay you the coin that's worth that space.
Lumerin. It's kind of like the same kind of idea, but it's for hash and like mining. I think like you can, if you have extra hash, you can.
But that's Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's a Bitcoin thing. They were at the Bitcoin conference.
Yeah, okay, I see.
And it's something about that.
Because that's what miners do. They have hashes that they're pushing out to the network, and then if they mine something, it mines like you generate. But I don't know. I'd have to look into
it's something about that. I saw you had the stacks thing. It just made me remember Lumerin.
Oh, okay, I see.
Because I was kind of thinking, I was like, is this like an affinity scam? Is this something like, oh, we're here at the Bitcoin conference thing, but we're not actually Bitcoin, like buy our Lumerin coin. But I don't know.
Yeah, because like Stack says they're like, oh, like a layer 2 for Bitcoin. This is
sidechain.
Yeah, sidechain.
Yeah, to enable smart contracts.
Whenever you mentioned about Bitcoin earlier, like being 4 to 7 transactions per second, but because they're going about it like with the layered solutions with with sidechain,
Lightning Network,
with Lightning Network. They're talking about Arc. They're talking about some of these other, like Blockstream has Liquid, so like you can do stuff on that, but that's a federated chain, so like you have to get permissioned in and out.
Yeah, federations are a whole different thing. I'm starting to learn about that. Recently,
there's so much, like we're probably like people are like, what are they talking about?
Yeah, this is crazy. That's why I go to the Bitcoin meetups.
What's our time at?
Hour and 107 minutes. So hour and 20.
20?
No, not close to. Oh yeah.
Hour and 40.
Hour and 40.
Our longest podcast.
Hour 47. Longest podcast yet.
Oh wow.
Podcast.
Yeah, I looked at my time earlier and it was like 9:45. I was like, wow.
I looked at my time too. I'm like, what time is it? Like, oh damn, it's 10. When did we start?
I didn't turn my alarm off. I'm like, surely we're not going to go that long.
Yeah, no. We've just been talking, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
No agenda. I don't worry about sleep, like I said. I don't worry about it. But yeah, it's definitely been fun. Like I've enjoyed everything that we talked about. It's what's it called going on right now? Davos.
Yeah, Davos.
Man, the president of Argentina over there just told all of them, he's like, you are all the problem here with the socialistic ideas and what did he use the word? collaborators. Like, I don't remember how you said it.
It's a word that like just bring everyone together. But not in the sense of like community, like everyone together. It's just like group everyone together, like everyone's in the same group type thing.
He's like, he goes, capitalism is the only way forward.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, my country is a perfect example. He goes, we went from growing to be the number one superpower in the entire world to the last 80 years being complete and utter dog shit. And he goes, capitalism forward. What you guys are doing, you're not protecting the West.
Mm-hmm.
Or Western ideas.
It's because I mean that's what I did learn about him when I did some that he was really into capitalism and what's it called, the type of accounting. It's not it's not the kind of
accounting.
Economics. It's a different form of economics. Not Keynesian economics, but
is it neo?
Austrian economics. Yeah, so Austrian economics
News to me.
is basically, they're against the government bailouts and stuff like that. They're all more free market capitalism and
I see.
More libertarian kind of bent.
Mm.
That's true capitalism, though.
Yeah, that is true capitalism.
It's like you don't it doesn't have the government coming in and create markets and stuff like that. It's like it's free market, and like we even now we don't have free markets even in the West. Yeah, exactly. We have bailouts. We have these. Even like when you look at the stocks and they hang on every word that the Fed says because they know when the Fed says this or they say that's going to be an influx of capital, or they know if the government comes out with a program like this, the anti, it was like the lowering the Inflation Act or whatever, reduce inflation, whatever the act is, that put a lot of money into different industries. I was just watching a little thing about it. And that's going to help us with our renewable energy, and it's going to help us with semiconductors and stuff like that. But they're literally just printing that money so that they can. The idea is like to speed up the economy, and then we're going to make it back later.
Which we never will.
My grandkids will be paying taxes on that, and they'll hopefully drive enough innovation to get it back.
We currently can't afford. The government currently can't afford to pay the interest rate on their debt at the current rate, which is part of the reason why they have to lower rate and print more money to afford their current debt.
Yeah. Luckily, it's been at lower. A lot of the debt is at the lower interest rates. Yep. But if they have to start
taking on new debt, they couldn't afford it.
That's
at
why
6%.
They're selling like 1-year treasuries because they can do it at a lower interest rate. Rather than trying to do 5-year or 10 year, at like 5 or 6 or 7.
They're gonna afford that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's
the
crazy.
whole economics,
the interest expense, and it's spending more than the military or something like on interest. Like the numbers are getting a little wonky.
Yeah, like how we talked about on Tuesday about how USDC could be one of the most valuable, largest companies.
Yeah,
because they can buy what their entire function is buying government issued debt to do what? But be a peg to the dollar.
Mm-hmm. That's why they kind of want to keep it going,
Yeah, and they're like, I don't care. You keep on buying.
Yeah, you're gonna
keep on printing it. I'm gonna keep on buying it. People need an off ramp and on ramp. Mm-hmm. Worst case scenario, you're going down, and if you go down, you have the military to back you up. Mm-hmm. Something's gonna happen.
Because China and Japan have stepped back from buying as much.
Yes, and the Saudis too.
And Saudis, wow, okay. I didn't know about them. That's, and it's funny because, like even amongst all the stuff that we're talking about, the U.S. is, people still want U.S. I was doing, I'm an online trainer. I had this guy, he hit me up from Nigeria, and I was asking him, what he could pay and stuff like that, and how he was going to pay. And I was asking him if he could pay in Bitcoin and whatever. And he was telling me that $1 I didn't look this up, but he was telling me that $1 was like 1,000, whatever.
Yeah. I was actually looking at that the other day.
I was like, what? He's like, oh, and I was like, I was trying to, help the kid out. He's like 16, but he wanted to train. And I was giving him like a reduced price for him or whatever. And I gave him the price, and it's like, oh, it's too expensive. And it was like, crazy low.
Yeah, I saw a video of like, like people do these like house tours, or, like clips on the internet. Mm-hmm. Someone did that for a family in Nigeria. And they asked her, how much do you pay rent? And she's like, 5,000 naira. And I was like, 5,000? How much is that? She pays $10 a month in rent. $10. I was like, that's crazy. And she doesn't make that much. Like she makes half of what her rent is. I was like, this is insane. Yeah, but like the amount of naira to like the dollar value, I was like, this is crazy. Yeah, but like then again, like the conditions that they're living in is obviously not the same. Like the bathroom is an outhouse, and it's not even with a hole in it. It's like they toss it over the wall, over the side.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, the world is very big, and it's like there's lots of poverty out there.
Well, I mean, that's one of these history things I listen to about like all the value extraction come out of Africa and like especially the French, like they were the worst, just terrible. Like they still got so many countries in Africa that are like using their money.
No, now it's even worse now too. In the Congo.
Yeah.
With all the lithium mining.
That was from the Portuguese, I think, had Congo.
Well, now it's the Chinese.
Now it's now. Yeah.
It was us first before it was them. Then we got out of it because we're like, we're not going to deal with this. We'll just buy from someone. And then we just buy from the Chinese who are mining it from out of there.
You said it was lithium?
I think it was lithium or cobalt. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this huge mine. It's just all these people working, like, and it's just like all these people, kids and everything, and like, but it's the only way this money coming in. And it's just so crazy that, like we're just sitting here chilling, and it's like,
but that's
nice place.
That's all because like the government, like the government over there is just as corrupt as the government everywhere else.
Right.
Worse.
Yeah. So these foreign companies want to go invest and take the resources. Or look, we need cheap labor. Inflate your dollar, inflate your currency. We'll give you money, so like you're gonna get your, like the governments over there, the top officials will get their cut, and they get the cheap labor to try to get whatever materials they want from there. So it's just corruption all around. Like it's not good. At least
no.
I think we need a change in how we operate globally, but
and it's just so funny, like how we got here with all the exploitation and stuff like that, and then now we have all these morals and all this stuff, and now we want to do climate change and like tell other people they can't use fossil fuels to like get up to the
that's literally what they're talking about. That's literally what they're talking about now in the World Economic, like probably like right now they're trying to wake up and start their meetings.
I mean, the same guy Javier was like, we're creating this big giant climate disaster. He goes, which is not real. We're all using it. He goes, it's pushed out. Essentially, he's like, it's not either not real or it's pushed out of proportion. And we're just using it as a tactic to fight over it.
I remember when I was a kid, like there was this whole scare about like the ozone layer, and like there's a big hole in the ozone. And
they fixed that because they like changed the CFCs. I mean, I don't know.
But like
propaganda, I don't know.
We're not experts here.
Also, but also like during COVID, like the one thing that did, like everything was restoring back. Like the waters in Venice were clear and fish were swimming there. That we've never seen that happen. Animals were walking around in India that they don't typically walk around. Like just you saw like nature just growing back like really fast. So
weeks.
Yeah, in no time at all.
Yeah, it'll swallow everything up, just like all those lost civilizations that they're finding, like
in the Amazon now
or whatever, like under the ground, all that kind of stuff. Like
I just feel like us as humans do consume a lot, and it is causing some type of strain. It's just more so like finding a balance, but in a calm approach. It's not superimposing on anybody's ability to survive.
I saw Elon Musk. He was talking about like we only inhabit like just like a small percentage of the Earth's surface, and most people are like concentrated in so many areas.
America is huge, man. America's constant. There's so much land out there, like an insane amount of land.
But it sucks out there.
Yeah, because it's land.
Like I saw this house for sale the other day on Instagram. It was like, for $299,000, and it's like way out in the middle of nowhere. Like, well, that's why
you could buy you could buy acres of land for $1, like out there.
Yeah, in some places they'll give it to you.
I mean, I think the U.S.'s map essentially was like the entire West Coast, the most western coast, Oregon, California, all the way down, was inhabited heavily. East Coast, New York, all the way down from Maine to us, inhabited. Texas, north, all these north, Midwest in the center, barren. They go, it's too difficult to build out there, and no one wants to be there because of just our mountains that we're set up there, and it's too dry, not enough water, not enough resources to even worth expanding into.
Apparently Arizona's only starting to grow in population now because they finally figured out their ACing system. Like ACs back then, like
would overheat, right?
it wasn't working. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like 20 years ago, like Arizona was empty because their AC system sucked, and now they just got it to the point where it could survive the desert. So it's just taking time. Like there's too much land out there.
Man, push everyone over there. We're too filled. Start going over there.
Well, in Salt Lake, the Salt Lake from Salt Lake City is like drying up,
shrinking.
No way.
There's like, and that's not the bad part. The bad part is under it is like arsenic and all these cadmium or all these like weird chemicals that like if it gets too dry, it's gonna like cause these huge dust storms and it's caused cancer right over this metropolitan area.
Oh,
so
wow.
like going and spraying water on it.
What's causing that?
It's the people that are drinking the water in the overpopulation.
Oh, wow.
Area, yeah. And
Okay.
like rainfall and like maybe people have diverted like the water like higher up the stream.
I know one thing that happens here in Florida is farming and homestead. A lot of like the runoff from like their fertilizers goes into the Everglades and kind of messes with the ecosystem, causes too much growth of like certain plants. So something that we do is we plant like the cattails, like the little like the tall with the fuzzy things to absorb up as much of those like runoff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Ecosystems are very, very sensitive
And we
things.
also got the python fucking it up.
Oh, those pythons are crazy.
That's crazy. Like I saw this Godzilla movie, and it was like the Godzilla thing was like the reason the Godzillas are like coming out is like Godzilla and all the other monsters.
Yeah.
The reason they're coming out is like it was like Earth's protection mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like, oh wow, that's crazy. I mean, it's like it's a premise for a movie, but still, like it makes you feel bad. But what are we gonna do? I mean, I'm not just gonna like go on. I mean, I shut my lights off. Don't get me wrong. But like, what about these Carnival cruise lines that are taking off every day, just burning like thousands of gallons?
Those things are
Just
insane.
riding people around in a circle in a damn boat, like.
Why gotta, man? You have nice things. We're great. It's a great time to be alive, and you're here shitting on us. This is your Carnival Cruise Line, okay? And a new Royal
This guy's
Caribbean.
got like a bunch of money on CCL.
I'm like, you stop it. You're gonna take my stocks.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I got options, and like, wait till the market closes. You close it tomorrow.
Jesus.
Start talking. I gotta upload my shares.
Oh man, it's funny. I mean, this isn't gonna come out for another week, so but then he has plenty of time.
Yeah.
Sell your insider trading. Sell your CCL.
Jesus.
Oh man, we're pulling up at the 2-hour mark now. I don't know if you guys want to keep on going. How are you guys feeling?
I mean, we can cut it off right around 2 if you want to like just call it an even.
Yeah, and even two.
And even too. My fear was like these cameras are gonna die again if we keep on going.
I mean, hey, we quit now. That's cool too. It's been real.
Yeah. You've been it's been fun. At least.
Wait, plug your stuff again.
Oh yeah, so
Just in case, because we just cut off so abruptly. I'm like, make sure we get this out.
yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. It was really fun. This is the longest I've been on a podcast before.
I wasn't expecting it to.
He goes, another podcast. That'll be an hour. I'm like,
Yeah, I was telling my girlfriend, I'll probably like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I'll be back soon.
you get back. He goes, where you been?
Exactly.
You want to? We've been recording. If I'm honest with you, my mouth is dry.
It's like nonstop.
I ran out of water 30 minutes ago.
I think it was 40.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Jae Proof of Work Fitness. You can find me on Instagram, Proof of Work Fitness, PROOFOFWORK Fitness, and YouTube, same name. Stacker News, same name, and yeah, come check me out. Stack Sats, get fit, better money, better bodies.
Everything down below.
Stack sets, get fit, better body, better money, better bodies.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
That's a good motto.
what's up. Yeah.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this extra long episode.
Yeah, it's been a fun one. Thank you, Jay, for coming. It
was fun.
Really cool.
Like always, like, subscribe, follow,
Share.
follow him,
Share.
share his stuff too. My brain hurts.
It's
I
just-
don't know what to think.
we
It's
did
just
some
like a
exercise.
putty right
We
now.
did some exercise today.
Jesus.
Well, thank you guys for coming.
By the way, this is recorded early, so
Yeah.
information might be old by the time this comes out.
Not the exercise stuff.
Not
Not the
that.
exercise.
That, no.
That's timeless.
But like everything else, everything crypto related might be a little old.
Thank you guys for tuning in to your favorite crypto podcast,
Sometimes crypto.
The Unscripted.
Crypto podcast.
Ayo.
Heyo.